Chapter 690. Qin Feng didn't know why the 12 Summits called him here, but he had a rough guess. They were most likely here to ask about Ouyang Feng. Ouyang Feng's appearance was too sudden, and he was too powerful. No one in China had ever defeated Zilong with a single punch. Since such a powerhouse had suddenly appeared and entered the secular world, the 12 Summits of the Dragon Sect naturally had to investigate this matter. So you didn't defeat Zilong? I heard that a mysterious old man appeared that night. Zilong said that the old man was your friend. Tell me about him. The 12 Summits were indeed the higher-ups of the Dragon Sect. They lied as freely as they breathed. They clearly knew that Zilong was defeated by Ouyang Feng, but they pretended not to know at first. They even said that Qiao Feng defeated Zilong. Then, they took a roundabout way and said that it was Ouyang Feng who defeated Zilong. It would be a lie if Qin Feng wasn't nervous when facing 12 Stage 9 inner Qi experts. His palms were drenched in cold sweat. If Ouyang Feng's secret was discovered, then the system's secret would be discovered soon. At that time, Qin Feng's fate would be to lie in the experimental cabin and be dissected by these people as test subjects. Senior 12, the old man who defeated Senior Zilong, is called Ouyang Feng. I only met him that night. After Ouyang Feng defeated Zilong, he disappeared. I don't know much about him, so I don't know much about his situation. When Ouyang Feng defeated Zilong, his name was already exposed, so Qin Feng didn't need to hide it. Moreover, knowing Ouyang Feng's name wasn't a threat to Qin Feng. The huge room fell silent. Qin Feng could hear the rhythmic breathing of the 12 Summits. The 12 people's breathing and heartbeats were at the same frequency. Qin Feng even had the illusion that the 12 of them were one person. They seemed to be able to fuse into one. Qin Feng suddenly shivered. Just thinking about it was terrifying. 12 people fusing into one? What kind of absurd scene would that be? Wouldn't they argue about their positions and postures? Did you say that Ouyang Feng didn't look for you after he left? Did he leave any contact information with you before he left? After a long silence, another summit spoke. Qin Feng thought back to the battle at the biology laboratory at Kyoto University. At that time, because Professor Mike was too powerful, Qin Feng had no choice but to release Ouyang Feng. However, after Qin Feng asked Ouyang Feng said that there was no one around. With Ouyang Feng's stage 10 external and level 1 true Qi stage strength, if he said there was no one watching, Qin Feng believed that there was no one watching. I haven't seen Ouyang Feng since we parted ways at Soaring Cloud Manor. His strength is unfathomable, so he should be one of those hermit masters. I guess I only met him once. Masters like that are hard to find, so I definitely won't be able to contact him. Putting aside his relationship with Ouyang Feng, Qin Feng changed the topic and said, Senior 12, I was too reckless last time in the Soaring Cloud Mansion. At that time, I hadn't officially joined the Dragon Gate and didn't know that the Soaring Cloud Mansion was Senior Zilong's territory. I'm willing to take full responsibility for this matter. The room became quiet again. The 12 upper peaks were like 12 mountains sitting there. Their auras were strong and steady, making it impossible to see through their thoughts and guess what they were thinking. Time passed bit by bit, but Qin Feng felt as if he was being tortured. A short minute felt as long as a century. Okay, it's over. Those who didn't know are not guilty. Plus, you just made a great contribution to Dragon Sect. Even if your contribution is offset, don't talk about Soaring Cloud Mansion anymore. Another leader spoke. Halfway through, he changed the topic and continued. Since you've only met Ouyang Feng once and you're not familiar with him, we won't ask too much. However, we've asked you to come here because we have an important mission for you to complete. It was a mission given by the 12 Summits. Needless to say, it was difficult, but Qin Feng couldn't refuse. Senior, please give me your instructions. Qiao Feng, in 3 months, it will be the Martial Arts Circle convention that is held every 5 years in the Martial Arts Circle outside of China. At the convention, a new chief of the Martial Arts Circle will be elected. This time, the Dragon Sect will send you to participate in the Martial Arts Circle convention. You have to help the dragon sect win the position of the chief of the martial arts circle. The 12 peaks spoke as if they were talking about a trivial matter. Qin Feng's mouth twitched when he heard this. There were many martial arts sects outside Huaxia. Except for Dragon Sect, the other 2 sects and 2 sects were all forces outside Huaxia. There were many masters in these forces. Qin Feng had seen too many masters after the 2 martial arts disturbances. Besides, most of the masters Qin Feng met were only disciples and elders. Their masters, such as the chief and the chief protector, had not shown up. How strong were those old monsters? Qin Feng didn't dare to guess. Now the 12 summits of Dragon Sect asked Qin Feng to participate in the martial arts assembly in 3 months and to win the position of the chief. Senior, I really want to accept this mission, but I don't have the strength. There are many masters in Dragon Sect, and there are many Stage 9 Inner Chi masters. I just broke through to Stage 8 Inner Chi. I don't think it's appropriate to send me to the martial arts assembly. If I don't win the position of the chief, I'll let down the 12 summits and humiliate Dragon Sect. Qin Feng didn't want to accept this mission. It was an impossible mission. The 12 summits didn't rush to speak and fell silent again. Qin Feng was suffocated by these old monsters. He even wondered if these old men suddenly fell asleep. Ding! The hedonist sovereign system has issued a mission: win the position of the chief. Mission time limit: before the martial arts assembly ends. If the mission is completed, the system will reward you 100,000 hedonist points, 3 martial arts secret orders, and 1-star technology blue laser gun. If the mission is failed, 200,000 hedonist points will be deducted, and the myriad beast spell and blood demon armor will be taken back. The hedonist sovereign system suddenly issued a mission. Qin Feng immediately felt unwell. The difficulty of this mission was not too high, and the punishment was quite severe. The secret skill and spiritual equipment that Qin Feng was most proud of were the myriad beast spell and the blood demon armor. The myriad beast spell allowed Qin Feng to continuously absorb demonic beasts' cores and possess the demonic chi of demonic beasts. He became a powerful demonic cultivator with multiple attributes. The blood demon armor was even more mysterious. The armor contained the blood essence of demonic beasts. When activated, he could rule over demonic beasts and become the king of beasts. Now that there was a mission for the chief of the chief, Qin Feng was afraid that if he failed, the blood demon armor and the myriad beast spell would be taken back. 12 summits. I've suddenly thought it through. The seniors called me here in the middle of the night and arranged for me to complete the chief of the martial arts assembly. This is their trust and promotion for a newcomer like me. How can I give up such a good opportunity? I'm willing to accept this mission and contribute my strength to Dragon Sect. Since the hedonist sovereign system had issued the chief of the martial arts assembly, Qin Feng had to participate in the martial arts assembly even if he didn't accept the mission from the 12 summits. Thus, Qin Feng immediately changed his attitude. This time, the 12 summits were confused by Qin Feng. Qin Feng could feel that there was a slight change in their aura, which was as steady as a mountain. It was obvious that they were affected by their emotions. Xiao Feng, have you made up your mind? Are you willing to accept the chief of the martial arts assembly? Someone asked. I've made up my mind. I'll spare no effort in fighting for the position of the chief of the martial arts assembly. If I can't become the chief of the martial arts assembly, I'll fight to the death. Qin Feng was forced into a dead end by the system. The hedonist sovereign system had always been a scam, and Qin Feng was used to it. Very well. Since that's the case, you'll complete this mission alone. This is a secret mission. Don't leak it to anyone else, or else you'll have to bear the consequences. The 12 summits and Qin Feng reached an agreement. Qin Feng would represent Dragon Sect in the martial arts assembly in 3 months. After talking about the martial arts assembly, the 12 summits started to chase him away. It's getting late. You should go back first. We'll look for you when the martial arts assembly is about to begin. After the 12 summits used him, they didn't even say a word of courtesy and wanted to chase him away. Qin Feng was speechless. However, Qin Feng didn't want to stay here for a long time. There were 12 Stage 9 inner Qi experts in the room, and they gave Qin Feng a lot of pressure. Qin Feng walked out of the room and let out a long sigh of relief. Although the 12 summits made Qin Feng accept the mission of the chief of the martial arts assembly, Qin Feng was satisfied that Ouyang Feng's identity and background weren't exposed. After leaving the dragon sect space, Qin Feng went back the way he came. He lowered his head and thought about tonight's events. He felt that the 12 summits purposely arranged this mission for him. It didn't seem like a mission from the dragon sect. It was more like the 12 summits wanted Qin Feng to find some clues. After Qin Feng left the empty room, the 12 summits continued to meditate with their legs crossed. Suddenly, someone asked, "Do you guys think what Xiao Feng said is true? Ouyang Feng was able to injure Zilong with one punch. Obviously, he's a hermit expert. This kind of person is a loner and hides his whereabouts, so what Xiao Feng said should be true. Xiao Feng has just stepped into Stage 8 inner Qi. His strength is relatively low in China. Why would an old monster like Ouyang Feng be friends with him? He must have said it casually. I'm afraid it's very difficult to find Ouyang Feng's whereabouts from Xiao Feng. No matter what, Xiao Feng has accepted the mission of the martial arts assembly. When the time comes, the experts from the major sects in the outer martial arts world will gather there. With Xiao Feng's strength, it's unrealistic for him to take the chief position of the martial arts assembly. Let's see if Ouyang Feng will show up to help. Nowadays, the outer martial arts world is growing stronger and stronger. This time, we can use Xiao Feng as a chess piece to suppress these forces in the outer martial arts world. We'll let them know that the dragon sect isn't just for show. The outer martial arts world already has Ouyang Feng, who has reached Stage 10 external realm. If we let them continue to develop, it will definitely cause chaos in China." After talking about Ouyang Feng, the room was silent for a while. Someone else said, "Xiao Feng is Qin Feng, and he's Green Wolf. This brat's information shows that he was a good-for-nothing hedonistic young master 9 months ago. He didn't cultivate at all. In just a short 9 months, Qin Feng became a Stage 8 inner Qi expert. We need to continue investigating this person. Qin Feng is a descendant of the Qin family in the provincial capital. It's normal for him to have such strength today. Maybe he likes to play the pig to eat the tiger. Maybe he's been hiding his strength all this time. He's just a Stage 8 inner Qi expert, so we shouldn't pay too much attention to him. Let's investigate this Stage 10 Ouyang Feng first. 1 or 2 people like him can take care of him, but if there are dozens of Stage 10 or true Qi experts in the outer martial arts world, then we won't be able to suppress them. True Qi experts are as rare as phoenix feathers and unicorn horns. Maybe we're too nervous. Chapter 691. Qin Feng lowered his head and thought about something. He did not pay attention to the road in front of him. Suddenly he bumped into something elastic. Then, he heard an ear-piercing scream. "You big bastard! It's you again! You bumped into my chest again! You have ulterior motives!" Qin Feng heard the familiar voice. He lifted his head and saw that he was passing by the entrance of Saint Medic. He accidentally bumped into the chest of Saint Medic's Miss Ren Xiaoyao. Qin Feng quickly put on a serious and angry expression and yelled at Ren Xiaoyao. "Oh, it's you again, you pervert! You hit my head with your chest last time, and you're doing this again today. Don't tell me you're waiting for me at the entrance every day?" Ren Xiaoyao was stunned by Qin Feng's words. She once again experienced Qin Feng's shamelessness. Looking at Qin Feng's flawless expression and acting skills, Ren Xiaoyao had the urge to invest in Qin Feng's acting skills. The atmosphere froze for a few seconds. Ren Xiaoyao yelled angrily. "Don't you have any shame? I'm the Miss of Saint Medic. The number of suitors lining up from the south gate to the north gate of martial artist town. You're saying that I'm waiting here to hit you with my chest? Is there something wrong with your brain?" Qin Feng curled his lips and ignored Ren Xiaoyao's words. He walked around her and said, "I'm warning you, this is the last time. If you hit my head with your chest again, I'll call the police." Qin Feng's face was full of anger. He really looked like a victim. Ren Xiaoyao was stunned for a while before she regained her senses. She drew her waning moon sword and chased after Qin Feng. Green Wolf, stop right there. How dare you lie to me last time? Don't even think about leaving tonight. Ren Xiaoyao raised her hand, and a white light fell in front of Qin Feng, creating a crack in the ground. Qin Feng stopped and turned around to look at Ren Xiaoyao. What did you say? I lied to you last time? When did I lie to you? When did I lie to your body? Qin Feng had cheated Ren Xiaoyao of her elixir at the ancient martial relic. In the end, he had not given her the purple mandala flower. However, at that time, Ren Xiaoyao had been wearing an avatar mask. Clearly, she did not want to expose her identity. Since Ren Xiaoyao didn't want to reveal her identity, Qin Feng also played dumb. He pretended that he didn't know Ren Xiaoyao. Ren Xiaoyao was stunned for a moment before she snapped out of her daze. The last time he explored the ancient martial ruins, he had worn a mask. Now that he had appeared with his original appearance, the Green Wolf clearly did not recognize him. You, what nonsense are you talking about? Even if I find a pig, I won't have sex with you. Don't even think about it. Ren Xiaoyao almost revealed her identity. Her identity was rather special. She didn't want Qin Feng to know about Yao Yao and Ren Xiaoyao's identities. Qin Feng had guessed that Ren Xiaoyao wouldn't reveal her identity. Seeing her silly look, Qin Feng couldn't help but want to laugh. Don't think too much. Even if you give it to me for free, I won't be interested. At most, I'll take you in as a servant to fetch water to wash my feet, warm my bed, and massage my shoulders. That's right, I met a silly girl not long ago. I gave her the opportunity to be a servant, but she wasn't willing. In the end, I cheated her of all the elixir she had. Don't you think that woman is silly? She's a big idiot. Qin Feng criticized Ren Xiaoyao in front of her, but Ren Xiaoyao couldn't get angry. When Qin Feng saw Ren Xiaoyao's tumbling breasts, he felt like he was about to explode. She looked so cute that she couldn't wait to bite Qin Feng to death, but she couldn't do anything about it. Qin Feng found it funny when he saw that. Why, you're the big idiot. You're a big liar. You go around deceiving people. Just wait for that woman to find you one day. She'll definitely kill you with her sword. Ren Xiaoyao yelled angrily. Don't worry. If that silly girl dares to cause trouble for me, I'll immediately hang her up and beat her up. Then I'll take her in as my servant and make her do hard work every day. That's right, that silly girl seems to be the daughter of a rich family. I'll take the daughter as my servant. Hee hee, just thinking about it makes me feel good. Qin Feng said whatever was more infuriating. Ren Xiaoyao rolled her eyes. The waning moon sword in her hand trembled uncontrollably as if it was going to attack at any moment. When Qin Feng saw that Ren Xiaoyao was on the verge of exploding, he stopped talking and prepared to return home. Little girl, don't sneak attack me next time. I'll be leaving first. Not long ago, Ren Xiaoyao had been cheated of elixir by Qin Feng. When she saw him, she wanted to teach him a lesson. However, in order to not expose her identity, Ren Xiaoyao couldn't do anything to Qin Feng. When Green Wolf's figure was about to disappear, Ren Xiaoyao's eyes lit up. She suddenly thought of something very important. Green Wolf, don't go yet. I have something to tell you. Ren Xiaoyao's body was as light as a swallow. With a few leaps, she caught up to Qin Feng. What is it? Qin Feng looked at Ren Xiaoyao and asked. Are you willing to join our Saint Medic Hall? Ren Xiaoyao looked at Qin Feng nervously. Qin Feng didn't know what Ren Xiaoyao was thinking. He curled his lips and said, Not interested. Many martial artists in China cried and begged to enter the Saint Medic Hall, but they couldn't. Now, the heiress of the Saint Medic Hall had personally invited Qin Feng to join, but Qin Feng had rejected her outright. If the martial artists in China were to see this scene, they would definitely hack Qin Feng to death. Ren Xiaoyao's mouth twitched violently. She didn't expect Green Wolf to reject her so directly. However, after thinking about it, Ren Xiaoyao got over it. Green Wolf and Billowy Lady were high-ranked alchemists. Naturally, they didn't care much about the Saint Medic Hall. The reason why Ren Xiaoyao invited Qin Feng to join the Saint Medic Hall was that she fancied Qin Feng's identity as a high-ranked alchemist. China's alchemy conference was going to be held soon. At that time, all the pharmacies that focused on alchemy would participate in the alchemy conference. Although the Sacred Medicine Hall was now the most prominent place to buy pills in the eyes of the Chinese martial artists, basically every martial artist would buy medicinal herbs and pills from the Sacred Medicine Halls all over China. However, the Triennial Alchemy Conference would select the new strongest medicinal workshop. If the Sacred Medicine Hall's alchemists didn't refine the most powerful medicinal pill, then the Sacred Medicine Hall would fall into desolation. The new strongest medicinal workshop would be born and become famous in the next 3 years. This alchemy conference was also for the sake of the Chinese martial artists. If there was no such competition, the Sacred Medicinal Hall would remain the #1 medicinal clinic. As time passed, their alchemists would also become lazy. At that time, the effects of the refined pills might decline. This would have a great impact on the breakthroughs of martial artists. Are you really not willing to join the Saint Medic Hall? There are many benefits if you join us. You can get 3 bottles of first-grade elixirs for free every month. You can also buy all the elixirs in the Saint Medic Hall at a 20% discount. Ren Xiaoyao wanted Qin Feng to join the Saint Medic Hall. She wanted to help the Saint Medic Hall participate in the alchemy conference. Ren Xiaoyao tried to entice Qin Feng with all kinds of benefits. However, Qin Feng was no longer interested in elixirs below 4th grade. Don't say any more. I don't want to join the Saint Medic Hall. I know you like me, but you're too ugly. You can't keep me. Qin Feng shouted impatiently. Ren Xiaoyao was about to die from anger. She was very confident in her looks. Who knew how many rich and noble families would look for Ren Xiaoyao's father every day to propose marriage? In the end, when it came to Qin Feng, Ren Xiaoyao became one of the unattractive ones? Ren Xiaoyao knew that Green Wolf was a very powerful alchemist, but now that she had appeared with Ren Xiaoyao's identity, she couldn't say it out loud. In addition, Green Wolf didn't seem willing to agree, so Ren Xiaoyao was about to die of anxiety. Ding! The hedonist sovereign system has issued a quest. Join the Saint Medic Hall and help the Saint Medic Hall win the title of King of Elixirs in the Alchemy Conference. Quest time limit, before the Alchemy Conference ends. If the quest is completed, the system will reward you 50,000 hedonist points and the Myriad Treasure Pavilion. If the quest is failed, 100,000 hedonist points will be deducted, and the Alchemy Pavilion will be sealed. Qin Feng didn't want to agree to Ren Xiaoyao's request. He knew that Ren Xiaoyao hated him. He should be thankful that she didn't trick him. Why would she be so kind as to let him join the Saint Medic Hall? However, Qin Feng was speechless when the system suddenly gave him a quest to join the Saint Medic Hall. Also, what the hell is this alchemy conference? What the hell is a king of elixirs? Even Qin Feng was confused. Alright, since you're so sincere in wooing me, I'll reluctantly agree to join the Saint Medic Hall, Qin Feng said. Ren Xiaoyao was stunned by Qin Feng's sudden change of heart. Just a moment ago, Green Wolf refused to join the Saint Medic Hall. He even put on an expression of disdain. Why did he suddenly change his mind? You really agree? That's great. You should know that the Alchemy Conference is coming soon. Since you've joined the Saint Medic Hall, you'll have to attend the conference with us. You'll have to concoct pills and help the Saint Medic Hall win the title of King of Elixirs. Ren Xiaoyao temporarily put aside her conflict with Green Wolf. Her tone was a little warmer, and she would pout and blink from time to time. She was acting cute. Qin Feng didn't fall for Ren Xiaoyao's honey trap. He said coldly, "Don't be too happy yet. I have a condition to join the Saint Medic Hall." Ren Xiaoyao stopped pouting and said expressionlessly, "What condition?" "I can join the Saint Medic Hall, but you'll have to find a way to get me a position in the Martial Artist Alliance's Law Enforcement Hall." Qin Feng suddenly remembered the Martial Artist Alliance's chain quest. The second side quest was for Qin Feng to become a member of the Martial Artist Alliance's Law Enforcement Hall within 3 months. This quest had been released for a while, so Qin Feng had to find a way to complete it. Chapter 692. Qin Feng did not know how powerful the Saint Medic was. He was also not sure if they could get a position in the Martial Art Alliance's Law Enforcement Hall. However, Qin Feng saw a glimmer of hope from Ren Xiaoyao's exaggerated expression. Ren Xiaoyao only expressed that it was difficult, but she did not say that it was impossible. Sigh. I didn't expect that the Saint Medic couldn't even handle such a small matter. If that's the case, there's no need for me to join you. It's beneath me to join a small pharmacy like the Saint Medic, Qin Feng said carelessly. Ren Xiaoyao was so angry that she almost vomited blood. Entering the Martial Art Alliance's Law Enforcement Hall was a small matter? What was a big matter then? Conquering the world or fighting an alien war? Moreover, the Saint Medic was the #1 pharmacy in China and had the reputation of being the king of elixirs. Yet Qin Feng said that it was a small pharmacy. Do you understand or not? Do you know how high the status of the Martial Art Alliance is in China? Even the dragon sect is nothing in front of it. Do you know how much power the members of the Martial Art Alliance's Law Enforcement Hall have? Please clarify these issues before you talk big. You're going to make me die of anger. Ren Xiaoyao was so angry that Qin Feng really wanted to be hit on the head by her again. If that's the case, then we have nothing to talk about. I'll make a move first. Qin Feng did not care about Ren Xiaoyao's words. He knew that the Saint Medic would have a way. Qin Feng was just playing hard to get. Sure enough, before Qin Feng even took 2 steps, Ren Xiaoyao became anxious and shouted, "Hey! Why don't you have the slightest bit of magnanimity? I was just joking with you. Stop. Let's discuss this properly." Qin Feng stopped and did not waste any more time. He smiled at Ren Xiaoyao and said, "Just tell me, does the Saint Medic have a way to get me into the Law Enforcement Hall?" "Of course. The Saint Medic is the #1 pharmacy in China. We enjoy elixirs." Ren Xiaoyao glared at Qin Feng angrily and started to brag about the Saint Medic Hall again. But before he could finish his sentence, he was interrupted by Qin Feng impatiently. "Enough, enough. Don't talk about Egg King or Egg King. I don't care if your Saint Medic Hall's eggs are big or small. If you can let me enter the Law Enforcement Hall, I'll join your Saint Medic Hall." Ren Xiaoyao was stunned. She finally reacted and gritted her teeth angrily. "You're the king of eggs. We are the king of elixirs. You were taught by a PE teacher in elementary, right? You can't even pronounce it properly." Qin Feng was not angry at all. He looked seriously at Ren Xiaoyao and said, "HM? Qin of. You. Xiao Fen of Zers." As Qin Feng spoke, he covered his crotch. Ren Xiaoyao was so angry that her eyes rolled back and she almost fainted. "Forget it. Let me peek." "Who asked me to be so handsome and elegant?" "Then it's decided. I'll join the Saint Medic now. You have to find a way to get me into the Law Enforcement Hall of the Martial Art Alliance, as soon as possible." Ren Xiaoyao pretended not to hear Qin Feng's frivolous words. She said seriously, "Don't think things are so simple. It's not easy to get into the Law Enforcement Hall of the Martial Art Alliance. You have to first defeat the alchemists of the other pharmacies at the Alchemy Conference, and help the Saint Medic retain the title of the King of Elixirs. Only then will the Saint Medic help you enter the Law Enforcement Hall. Can you trust what you say? What if you lie to me?" Qin Feng had a lot of conflicts with Ren Xiaoyao. He would not easily believe her words. The Saint Medic has been in business for hundreds of years. We are old and famous. Honesty is the most important thing. If you don't believe me, we can sign a contract after you join the Saint Medic. Ren Xiaoyao glared at Green Wolf angrily. If she had not heard that the Yang Enterprise had secretly trained a high-level alchemist to win the title of the King of Elixirs, Ren Xiaoyao would not have asked Green Wolf to join the Saint Medic. Ren Xiaoyao felt that Green Wolf was a level 6 alchemist. There was only one such alchemist in the Saint Medic. In order to protect the title of the King of Elixirs, Ren Xiaoyao had been recruiting people for the Saint Medic recently. That was why she thought of asking Green Wolf to join the Saint Medic. Okay, then it's settled. Go back and prepare a contract. I'll sign it with you when I'm free. Qin Fen felt that there should be no more problems. If the Saint Medic dared to go back on their word, Qin Fen did not mind overturning the pharmacy. Ren Xiaoyao did not want to talk to Qin Fen anymore. She glared at Qin Fen and turned around to return to the Saint Medic. Qin Fen looked at Ren Xiaoyao's wriggling butt as she left. He thought this girl was quite interesting. Sky City's Su family. The sisters, Su Qiuyu and Su Xiatian, were extremely busy. Even Elder Su was busy. During this time, the Su family had been developing Su Qin pharmaceuticals. The formulas of the gold sore medicine and whitening cream that Qin Fen had given Su Qiuyu had been mass-produced and were now being marketed. These two products were formulas that Qin Fen had bought from the system. They were products that were slightly improved based on the formula of the Grade 1 Wonder Pill. As soon as these two products were released, they immediately became the best-selling products of Su Qin Pharmaceuticals. They also became the main products that made Su Qin Pharmaceuticals famous. Su Qiuyu was wearing a long white dress. She was sitting in the president's office on the top floor of Su Qin Pharmaceuticals. She was very focused on her work. She exuded the aura of a vigorous and domineering CEO. Su Qiuyu was looking at this week's sales report. The gold sore medicine and whitening cream had only been on the market for 7 days. This was the third time that they had sold out. Then, they increased production. The sales had doubled in these 7 days, which was beyond Su Qiuyu's expectations. Ding ding ding! The office phone on the desk rang. Su Qiuyu picked up the landline. Sis, this is bad. The whitening cream in my branch store has been sold out again. There are more than a dozen lines in front of the store, and each line is more than a dozen streets away. Do you still have any whitening cream in your headquarters? Hurry up and drop tens of thousands of boxes from the helicopter. Su Xiatian's exaggerated voice came from the phone. Su Qiuyu put away her cold and fierce expression and couldn't help but laugh. Her laughter seemed to make the air sweet. Xiatian, do you have to be so dramatic? Are you bored of looking after the store again? Do you have nothing better to do than to harass your sister? Be a good girl and stay in the store. I'm busy here. I'll pick you up after work. Su Qiuyu didn't believe Su Xiatian's nonsense. She knew her twin sister well. Xiatian had never been serious since she was little. She was probably bored of looking after the store again and wanted to play with her. Boo-hoo! Sis, you're bullying me. I'm going to tell Big Brother Qin Feng. He's been obediently looking after the store. Now that he's out of stock, he came to you for more. You said I was just teasing you. When have I ever teased you? I've always been a very serious girl, okay? Su Xiatian pretended to cry on the phone. Su Qiuyu's heart skipped a beat when she heard the name Qin Feng. She suddenly missed Qin Feng very much. All right, little sister. Are you really out of stock? I just sent you 20,000 boxes last night. How did they sell out so quickly? Su Qiuyu couldn't bear to see her little sister cry, so she quickly comforted her. Sis, the formula Big Brother Qin Feng gave us is amazing. The skin whitening cream and gold sore medicine are selling like crazy. Your 20,000 boxes are already sold out. Hurry up and send me more. Send me as much as you can. I want to make a lot of money. I won't let Big Brother Qin Feng run around. I'll let him stay with us every day. I'll take care of him. Su Xiatian was very excited. Su Qiuyu missed Qin Feng more and more. Su Qiuyu chatted with her little sister for a while. After she confirmed that Xiatian's store was really out of stock, she hung up and started to transfer the stock over there. Su Qiuyu had just finished dealing with her little sister's store when she received a call from her grandpa's store. The stock over there was also sold out. Su Qiuyu hastily transferred the stock over to her grandpa's store. The stock that had just been produced was also sold out. Su Qiuyu was stunned by the popularity of the product. She hastily called the production base and asked them to work overtime to produce 2 more batches of the product. The Su sisters and old Master Su were extremely busy, but deep down, they were very happy. This was especially true for Su Qiuyu. This was the first thing Qin Feng asked her to do. Su Qiuyu really wanted to do a good job on this matter. She hoped that Su Qin Pharmaceuticals could reach the height that Qin Feng desired. Now that the product was out, its popularity was beyond everyone's imagination. Su Qiuyu, who had been busy for several months, could finally heave a sigh of relief. Su Qin Pharmaceuticals developed rapidly. It was as if it had become famous overnight in Sky City. Now, it was rapidly expanding to the other 3 cities in Yun Province, and the first-tier cities like Jingdu. While Su Qin Pharmaceuticals was developing, there was a hidden force that was keeping an eye on the Su family's business. It was constantly monitoring Su Qiuyu and her little sister's every move. "Shadow, what's the situation with the Su family?" A cold voice came from the phone. It was a man on the other side of the phone. Although it was broad daylight, the man was wearing a black suit and a black mask, so his face couldn't be seen clearly. "Boss, that brat from the Su family violated our previous agreement. She said she would sell all the Su family's business for gold and hired the Golden Assassin crew to assassinate Green Wolf. Now, that woman has changed her mind and has been hiding from me. What should I do now?" said the man called Shadow. "Just follow the old rules. Anyone who dares to cancel the Golden Assassin crew's contract will be killed without mercy." The cold voice came again. Shadow hesitated for a moment, and continued, "Boss, I've been secretly observing the Su family for a few days. I found out that the Su family has recently built a Su Qin Pharmaceuticals. The business of this pharmaceutical company is very good. One of its main products is called Gold Sore Medicine. I went to buy a portion. The Gold Sore Medicine they produce has the same effect as a first-grade healing pill. Should we annex the Su family's business?" According to the rules of the Golden Assassin crew, if the person who issued the mission dared to violate the contract halfway, then the mission would automatically be considered over. However, what Shadow said just now made the man on the other side of the phone a little tempted. The Golden Assassin crew only accepted gold for killing. They needed money very much. Now that the Su family had a very profitable Su Qin Pharmaceuticals, they could annex it and turn it into a money-making tool for the Golden Assassin crew. Also, Shadow said that the Gold Sore Medicine produced by Su Qin Pharmaceuticals had the same effect as a first-grade healing pill. This was also very attractive. "Shadow, don't make any moves for now. Let the Su family develop on their own for a while. When Su Qin Pharmaceuticals develops, you know what to do." After a moment of silence, the cold voice came again. Chapter 693. A cool breeze was blowing, birds were singing, and flowers were fragrant. It was almost the start of winter in Huaxia. However, in an empty valley, the ground was covered with green grass. Butterflies were dancing, a few wild rabbits were jumping in the grass, and some deer were chasing each other. The sky was clear and cloudless, and a waterfall rolled down from the cliff. Everything was full of life. It was as beautiful as a painting, or maybe it was called a paradise on earth. It was like this all year round, or rather, there were no seasons here. It was like spring all year round. Clang! The sound of metal clashing could be heard in the distance. 2 fairies were fighting. One of them was a woman in a purple dress, wielding a soft sword in her hand and wielding it with ease. The other fairy was dressed in a light green robe and held a peachwood sword in her hand. She brandished the wooden sword smoothly and gracefully as if she was dancing. The green and purple fairies were equal in strength. Their swords clashed a few hundred times in the air, but there was no winner. "Senior Sister Xianyu, thank you for going easy on me." The green dress fairy had already put away her wooden sword. She looked at the purple dress fairy with a bright smile. Hua Xianyu shook her hand, and the soft sword became a belt that wrapped around her waist. "Junior Sister Wishing, don't be so humble. I didn't go easy on you. It's your talent that makes me envious." Su Qiuyu walked up to the celestial maiden and took the initiative to hold Wuxin's arm. The green-robed girl muttered the two words Wu Xian in her heart. Every time she heard this name, she felt a little strange. She knew that this was not her real name. This was the Taoist name that sect leader Jing Xian had given her. As for her original name, the green-robed fairy herself had forgotten it. Not only did she forget her original name, but she also forgot the memories of the first half of her life. She was Su Ruoro, the rare Coldine body. Senior sister, don't be angry. Sect leader Jing Xian said that I have a Coldine body that only appears once in 100 years. This kind of body is specially born for our sect's calm heart technique. That's why I have a natural advantage when I cultivate. Otherwise, I definitely won't be able to compare to senior sister's superior perception. Su Ruoro was modest and courteous. Hua Xian, you really like this junior sister. Congratulations, junior sister Wuxing. You have broken through to stage 8 inner qi. Hua Xianyu's eyes were curved into crescent moons. Her every frown and smile could charm people's souls. She was like a goddess descending from heaven. Su Ruoro had just broken through to stage 8 inner qi. She wanted to experience the strength of a stage 8 inner qi cultivator. When Su Ruoro arrived at Serenity, she was a weak girl without the strength to truss a chicken. In less than 5 months since she arrived at Serenity, she had cultivated all the way from an ordinary person to a stage 8 inner qi expert. If news of this were to spread, all the so-called genius martial cultivators in China would be depressed to death. However, Su Ruoro's face didn't show a trace of surprise. Instead, she looked as if it was only natural. Ever since Su Ruoro cultivated Serenity's Tranquil Heart Sutra, she had almost no obstacles on the path of cultivation because of her special physique. Breaking through was as easy as eating a meal. Moreover, the sect master of Serenity, Jing Xian, valued Su Ruoro very much. He poured all the resources of the sect into Su Ruoro. Su Ruoro had the help of all kinds of miraculous pills. Moreover, she cultivated every day in this valley with dense heaven and earth's spiritual energy. It was difficult for her to slow down her cultivation speed even if she wanted to. After Su Ruoro and Hua Xianyu finished their martial arts practice, they held hands and ran to the flowers to dance with the butterflies. The two girls played and played in the flowers. They were even more beautiful than the flowers. A large group of butterflies landed on the two girls' shoulders and circled around them, unwilling to leave. This beautiful scene made people feel carefree and happy. Junior sister Xianyu, junior sister Wuxin, I finally found you. So you were playing here? A hearty laughter came. After a few seconds, a white shadow descended from the sky. The person who came was wearing a long white robe. His elegant long hair danced in the wind. He held a sword in his hand. In a few breaths he landed next to the two girls from far away. Xianyu greets senior brother Ling Fei. Wuxin greets senior brother Ling Fei. When the man landed, Hua Xianyu and Su Ruoro greeted him. This person was the genius disciple of Starlight Sect, Ling Fei. His current strength was unfathomable. Even Hua Xianyu and Su Ruoro couldn't see through him. If Qin Feng was here, he would definitely recognize Ling Fei at a glance. When Qin Feng first entered Devil Beast Mountain to collect herbs, he was chased by a three-eyed elephant boar. Later, he met Hua Xianyu and the two of them worked together to kill the three-eyed elephant boar. Because Hua Xianyu was injured and fainted, Qin Feng cut his wrist and released his blood to save her. Then, Ling Fei came and mistakenly thought that Qin Feng wanted to do something to Hua Xianyu. He knocked Qin Feng out with one palm. It was Hua Xianyu who bit the tip of her tongue and released her blood to save Qin Feng's life. Ling Fei's gaze fell on the two girls. A hint of possessiveness flashed in the depth of his eyes. When he first went to Devil Beast Mountain, he had been eyeing Hua Xianyu's beauty. It was just that he couldn't find a suitable opportunity. Now, Wuxin from Serenity came. Her beauty and temperament didn't lose to Hua Xianyu. This made Ling Fei extremely happy. Ling Fei wasn't originally from Serenity. However, in order to improve his relationship with the two beauties, he would often come to Serenity to look for them. Hua Xianyu and Su Ruoro didn't have any feelings for Ling Fei. Moreover, the two girls were naturally intelligent. They could tell that Ling Fei was interested in them. The two girls were a little annoyed by Ling Fei's entanglement. However, Serenity and Starlight's sect had a good relationship. Hua Xianyu and Su Ruoro didn't want to ruin their relationship. They could only pretend that they didn't know anything. "Ha! Why are you two junior sisters being so polite to me? Get up! Get up!" Ling Fei laughed and walked up. He extended his hand to support Su Ruoro's arm. Before Ling Fei could succeed, Su Ruoro took a step back. Ling Fei's eyes flashed with a hint of surprise. "Huh! Junior sister Wuxin, the aura on your body has changed. You couldn't have broken through again, right?" Ling Fei specifically targeted the weaker Su Ruoro because he could guarantee that he would be able to touch her arm before Su Ruoro dodged. However, what surprised Ling Fei was that Su Ruoro's speed increased again. She easily dodged him. She had clearly broken through again. "Senior brother Ling Fei, I just broke through to stage 8 inner chi," Su Ruoro said expressionlessly. Ling Fei was shocked. He, a genius disciple of Starlight's sect, was stunned by Su Ruoro's speed of leveling up. This woman was simply heaven-defying. "Ha! Good, this is good news. I really didn't expect junior sister Wuxin to break through again. I remember the last time I came here was a month ago. Junior sister Wuxin was only at the peak of stage 6 inner chi at that time. Your leveling speed really makes me feel ashamed as your senior brother." Ling Fei originally wanted to take advantage of Su Ruoro. He didn't expect Su Ruoro to level up twice in a month. Ling Fei's first attack failed, but he didn't give up. His figure flashed and appeared next to Su Ruoro. "Junior sister Wuxin, sometimes it's not a good thing to level up too fast. If the aura in your body isn't stable, there will be a lot of problems in the later stages. Stand there and don't move. Senior brother will help you check the inner chi in your body to see if your condition is right." Ling Fei extended his palm and touched Su Ruoro's lower abdomen. Su Ruoro was already on guard against Ling Fei. A hint of disgust flashed in her beautiful eyes. Before Ling Fei's big hand fell, Su Ruoro had already jumped next to Hua Xianyu. Hua Xianyu was also a little angry. She now saw Su Ruoro as her own little sister. How could she tolerate Ling Fei's wretched behavior? "Senior brother Ling Fei, I just fought with junior sister Wuxin. There are no problems with the inner chi in her body. You don't need to worry about it." Hua Xianyu's tone was a little cold. Ling Fei wasn't a fool. He had already sensed the two girls' disgust towards him. Ling Fei knew that his little thoughts had been discovered by the two girls. He didn't want to continue playing tricks. That would only have the opposite effect. "Ha! So junior sister Xianyu has already checked. Then I'm relieved. Don't think too much. I'm just worried for junior sister Wuxin. I don't mean anything else." Ling Fei explained his behavior. Actually, it would have been better if he didn't say it. Now that he said it, it made Su Ruoro and Hua Xianyu hate him even more. The atmosphere became a little awkward. The two girls had cold faces and didn't say anything. Ling Fei didn't know what to say for a moment. The sound of wind breaking rang in the distant sky. After a few breaths, the Serenity sect master, Master Jingxin, waved her horsetail whisk and landed beside Hua Xianyu and Su Ruoro. "Xianyu greets sect master Jingxin. Wu Xian greets sect master Jingxin. Ling Fei greets sect master Jingxin." Sect Master Jingxin wore a gray robe. It was impossible to tell her age. Her delicate face was delicate, and her skin was as delicate and white as a baby's. Her body flowed with a gentle aura. It felt like she was below stage 4 inner chi. However, the aura was incomparably strong and seemed endless. It was clearly not something a stage 4 inner chi could have. Su Ruoro and the other two respectfully greeted Sect Master Jingxin. Hua Xianyu and Su Ruoro couldn't see Ling Fei's strength. Ling Fei couldn't see Sect Master Jingxin's strength. "Ling Fei, you're here again!" Sect Master Jingxin glanced at Ling Fei. Her voice was as calm as water. Ling Fei's body trembled slightly. He didn't know what sect Master Jingxin meant. Did she like him coming or not? Without waiting for Ling Fei to speak, sect Master Jingxin continued. Xian Yu, Wu Xian, in 3 months the outer martial world will hold the Martial Society Convention. You two stay in the sect all day and have little contact with the secular world. This will actually affect your future breakthroughs. To cultivate Tao, you must first cultivate your heart. If you don't taste the world, how can you comprehend the great Tao of heaven? In 3 months, Ling Fei, take Xian Yu and Wu Xian to the Outer Martial Society Convention. Consider it an experience for the 3 of you. As Sect Master Jingxin's voice fell, the 3 of them became excited. Hua Xianyu and Su Ruoro really wanted to go out and take a look. Ever since Su Ruoro was brought back to serenity, the 2 girls hadn't gone out. To them, the outside world was still very exciting. Ling Fei was even more excited. He was worried that he wouldn't have a chance to make a move on the 2 girls. Now Sect Master Jingxin gave him a great opportunity. Ling Fei wanted to thank Jingxin to death. P.S. This month, I guarantee 2 chapters a day. The time is 7 in the morning and 7 in the evening. Every day, every month the number of monthly votes increases by 30. Everyone, please reward me with monthly votes. Next month, I will strive to restore the minimum of 3 chapters a day. Everyone, please subscribe and continue to support Old Duha. Thank you everyone. Chapter 694. The Yun Family of the Capital City. The empty training field in the backyard of the Yun family mansion was already filled with people. These people were all direct descendants of the Yun family, as well as relatives within 3 generations of the collateral family. The Yun family was a special family in the capital city. It was not one of the 4 major families or the 5 minor families, but it was not much weaker than the 4 major families. The Yun family was an ancient martial arts family and a mysterious weapon refining family. The Sema family, one of the 4 major families of the capital, was also a weapon refining family. Their family's blacksmith shop was well known in the Chinese martial arts circle. The Yun family's divine weapon hall was relatively less famous. At the top of the empty training field, there were a few rows of chairs. Those who could sit on them were all elderly. Behind the chairs stood a group of middle-aged men and women in their 40s and 50s. Everyone looked solemn and steady. Their eyes fell on the ring in the middle of the training field. There were 12 young men and women standing on it. They were the stars of the day. Today was the day of the Yun family's martial meet. The Yun family was going to elect a new young master. In that row of seats, the old man sitting on the stone lion chair at the very top raised his head to look at the direction of the sun, then slowly stood up. The old man was wearing a white robe. He had white hair and a youthful face. He stood like a pine tree with his long hair fluttering in the wind. His body was filled with powerful inner qi. He was the current patriarch of the Yun family, Yun Tiankong. If Qin Feng was here, he would recognize Yun Tiankong immediately. He was the one who published the ancient martial ruins adventure, Senior by Yun. Yun Tiankong stood up and the old men and women in the back row all stood up. All 12 young patriarch candidates kneeled down on one knee on the arena of the martial arts field and shouted in unison. The Yun family's descendants greet grandfather. The 12 people had different strengths. Their shouts were like thunder and lingered on the training field for a long time. Get up! Yun Tiankong's calm and powerful voice echoed. The 12 people kneeling on the ground slowly stood up. Today is the Yun family's young master election. Now that the time has come, I announce the official start of the Yun family's martial meet. Following Yun Tiankong's shout, everyone on the training field became excited and nervous. The Yun family was an ancient martial arts family, so the form of the martial meet was different. Not only were the direct descendants of the Yun family eligible to participate in the selection of the young patriarch, but the descendants of the 3 generations of the collateral branches also had the right to participate. At this time, the people of the Yun family who were standing at the side of the martial arts field were the cheering group for these 12 candidates. Yun Xiao was dressed in a noble black dress as she stood in the crowd. Her hands were tightly gripping onto the corner of her skirt as her beautiful eyes flashed. She was nervously staring at her little brother Yunzhe, who was in the martial arts field. She really hoped that Yunzhe would be able to become the young patriarch of the Yun family, because that was Yunzhe's dream since he was young. With Yun Kongtian's command, the Yun family's martial meet had already begun. 2 black-clothed bodyguards from the Yun family carried a large box onto the arena. The 12 contestants took out a red ball from the box in an orderly manner. Each ball had a different number written on it. After the lots were drawn, Yun Kongtian said calmly, "Now everyone, please report your numbers. After that, we will begin the first event of the martial meet, the martial competition." As soon as Yun Tiankong's voice fell, the sound of a countdown resounded in the arena. "Number 1!" The 2 handsome men called out at the same time. "Number 2!" A man and a woman called out at the same time. These red balls had a total of 6 numbers. From 1 to 6, there were 2 balls for each number. The 2 contestants who got the same number of red balls would challenge each other. The 12 contestants had already reported their numbers and were automatically divided into 6 teams. "The contestants of the first team, please come onto the arena." The black-clothed bodyguard's voice resounded. The 2 youths who drew the number 1 walked to the center of the arena. The remaining 10 contestants automatically retreated off the arena. "Yun Jian, I'm sorry." "Yun Fei, use your full strength later. I won't be lenient." Of the 2 youths, one was wearing a black training suit and the other was wearing a white robe. Both of them were from the younger generation of the Yun family. They were about the same age and were usually good brothers. However, it was the time for the selection of the Yun family's young master. They didn't care about their brotherhood. They immediately gathered their chi and were ready to use their ultimate moves as soon as the fight began. Bang, bang, bang. The fight had already begun. The 2 of them kept clashing with their fists and legs. They were ferocious and the sound of wind breaking could be heard in the air. Yun Jian and Yun Fei were both martial artists at the 3rd stage of the inner realm. Their strengths were about the same. The 2 of them were locked in a fierce battle, and it seemed like they wouldn't be able to determine the victor for a while. 2 groups of people in the cheering group outside the training field became nervous. They were Yun Fei and Yun Jian's parents and siblings. The other 10 candidates were also watching the battle. Yunzhe was already at the 5th level of the inner chi realm, so the battle between the 3rd level of the inner chi realm was nothing in his eyes. However, Yunzhe still watched it seriously. He could not let his guard down. "Heh! You dare to compete for the position of the young patriarch with such little strength? Big brother, do you think these people are crazy?" Among the contestants, a man dressed in a red tang suit, who looked like he was here to get married, complained. The youth standing beside him was dressed in a gray robe. He stood with his hands behind his back and put on the arrogant posture of an otherworldly expert. If Qin Feng was here, he would also recognize this person. This was the member of the Xian group, Yun Fan, who was punched into the wall by Qin Feng in the soaring cloud manner not long ago. Yun Fan was the eldest grandson of the Yun family's direct line of descent. The man in the red tang suit was Yun Fan's cousin, Yun Ping. In this year's clan martial meet, Yun Fan was the most competitive person. Yun Fan's current strength was at the 8th stage of the inner realm, and he was a member of the Dragon Gate's Xian group. This identity was a height that the younger generation of the Yun family could not surpass. However, Yun Fan's achievements didn't come from his own hard work. Who asked him to be the eldest grandson of the Yun family's direct line of descent? Therefore, all of the Yun family's resources were tilted towards cultivating Yun Fan. Under the full cultivation of an ancient martial arts family like the Yun family, Yun Fan's current achievements were considered unsatisfactory. Humph! They're just a bunch of ants. Do they really think the position of the Yun family's young patriarch will be given to a collateral relative? It's just that the martial meet needs to be livelier, so they can give the collateral relatives a chance to compete. They're just here to serve as a foil. Without their existence, how can I show off my greatness? Whose face am I going to slap to show off? Yun Fan had a sense of arrogance in his bones. When he spoke, he didn't even look at the 2 people fighting in the arena. He had an arrogant and unruly attitude. Yunpeng admitted that he wasn't Yun Fan's opponent, and he couldn't compare to Yun Fan in terms of backing. Therefore, Yunpeng had long since given up on fighting for the position of the young patriarch in this year's clan martial meet. What he needed to do was to curry favor with his big brother Yun Fan as much as possible. When his big brother became the young patriarch, it would be good to follow him in the future. Big brother is right. You are the rightful young patriarch of the Yun family. Do these nobodies want to compete with you for the position of patriarch? Pfft. They simply don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Yunpeng shamelessly tried to curry favor with Yun Fan. Yun Fan liked this feeling very much. He nodded his head in satisfaction and said, "Little brother Yunpeng, don't worry. When big brother sits on the throne of the patriarch, there will be many benefits for you in the future. As long as you follow big brother wholeheartedly, I will let you live well in the future." Then little brother will thank patriarch Yun Fan in advance. Yunpeng was a classic bootlicker. He was also very quick-witted. He had already changed the way he addressed Yun Fan, directly calling him Patriarch Yun Fan. Yun Fan grinned from ear to ear. He patted Yunpeng's shoulder and said with a smile, "That's right, little brother. You and Yunzhe both drew the number 5 ball. Yunzhe is the strongest among the collateral relatives. Although he's still an ant in my eyes, it's best if you can kill him. Even if you can't beat him, you have to exhaust him. Do you understand?" Yunpeng immediately nodded and said with a smirk, Big brother Yun Fan, don't worry. Does that brat want to compete with you for the position of young patriarch? He's basically a joke. He doesn't even have a fart backing him, and he even needs his sister to get a backing for him when he gets married. How embarrassing." When Yunpeng mentioned Yun Xiao, a hint of possessiveness flashed across Yun Fan's eyes. Yun Fan had coveted Yun Xiao's beauty for a long time. However, Yun Xiao was a collateral relative within 3 generations of the Yun family. Yun Fan really couldn't lay his hands on her. However, after today, it would be different. Yun Fan was 100% confident that he could win the position of young patriarch. At that time, he planned to take his cousin in and play with her every night. Yun Fan felt excited just thinking about it. Rumble! A muffled sound suddenly came from the arena. It turned out that Yun Fei and Yun Jian had finished their fight. Both of them had the strength of Stage 3 inner Qi. Both of them had used all their strength to win the position of young patriarch. In the end, they actually fought to a draw. Now, both of them were lying on the ground with injuries. Neither of them could get up. Both sides have lost the first round of the competition. They are disqualified from the next round of the competition. The Yun family's black-clothed guard had already announced the result. After Yun Jian and Yun Fei heard the result, their eyes rolled back and they fainted from anger. 2 contestants were eliminated in 1 round. The remaining 10 people were very excited. The second round began. One was a man from a side branch of the Yun family, and the other was a woman from a side branch. The Yun family did not value men over women. They encouraged the entire family to practice martial arts. When it came to the competition for the position of patriarch, women were also qualified. In this battle, the woman called Yunyu won. Yunyu became the first candidate to qualify to enter the next round, and the man who was defeated by Yunyu was directly eliminated. The battle was still in full swing. There were 2 victors in the next 2 battles. Both of them were men, and together with Yun Yu, they became the next round's contestants. At this time, only Yun Zhe, Yun Fan, Yun Ping, and Yun Lei were left in the resting arena. This match was Yun Zhe versus Yun Ping. "You know what to do, right?" Yun Fan's deep voice sounded in Yun Peng's ears. A sneer flashed across Yun Peng's eyes. He also suppressed his voice and said, "Patriarch Yun Fan, don't worry. I won't let that brat advance." The 2 of them had already walked onto the stage. Yun Peng stood with his hands behind his back, looking at Yun Zhe in a frivolous manner. His eyes were filled with contempt. Yun Zhe did not care about Yun Peng's attitude. He politely bowed towards Yun Peng. "Elder brother Yun Peng, please enlighten me." Bang! As soon as Yun Zhe finished speaking, before he could even stand up, a powerful stream of air suddenly shot over, landing fiercely on Yunzei's abdomen. Dong! Yunzei was completely unprepared. His body was directly sent flying, landing heavily on the hard concrete ground of the training grounds. P.S. I promised everyone in the group that I would explode a chapter, and I've finally made it out. That's right, young Master Du is the kind of man who explodes at the slightest disagreement. Haha! Are you all the kind of man who rewards at the slightest disagreement? This month's monthly votes and rewards aren't enough. Everyone, hurry up and use your monthly votes to smash young Master Du to death. There were also many readers who said that they wouldn't reward, so young Master Du could only make a big move. WeChat ID 177717877753. Do you have any red packets? Young Master Du isn't afraid of too many. I'll accept as many as you send, haha. Chapter 695. Yunzei. Brother, are you alright? Zaire, quickly get up. You can't fall so easily. At the side of the training grounds, Yun Xiao's family cried out in shock. Yun Xiao and his parents were so angry that their faces turned ashen. That Yun Peng was too shameless. He didn't even do the most basic etiquette of a warrior and directly went to sneak attack Yunzei? The other relatives could not bear to watch any longer. Yun Peng's actions were truly disdainful. However, Yun Peng and Yun Fan were the last two direct descendants of the Yun family, so the other collateral relatives did not dare to say anything. Pfft. After Yunzei fell to the ground, he spat out a large mouthful of blood. This palm undoubtedly revealed Yun Peng's strength. He had actually just broken through to the 6th level of inner qi. Yunzei covered his chest and quickly began to suppress the churning inner qi in his body. He did not have much anger towards Yun Peng's sneak attack. He could only say that Yun Peng's character was too bad, but the martial arts world was so sinister. Yunzei told himself in his heart that he had to learn from his mistakes. Haha! My brother Yunzei, I see you training hard day and night in the family every day. How can you only have this little strength? With your little skills, you have the nerve to compete for the position of the young patriarch? I think you're itching for a beating, so you're here to be tortured. Yun Peng stood arrogantly beside Yunzei with a disdainful and arrogant expression. Yun Peng and Yun Fan had been nurtured by the family since they were young. They did not lack all kinds of elixirs and items needed for cultivation. Of course, they were stronger than Yunzei, and Yunzei, as a collateral relative of 3 generations, could only rely on his own hard work to speed up his breakthrough. Yunzei was now an expert at the peak of the 5th level of inner qi, only 1 level lower than Yun Peng. Speaking of which, Yunzei's cultivation talent was dozens of streets ahead of Yun Peng. Yun Xiao and his parents were still shouting Yunzei's name. From time to time, they would glance at the head of the family, Yun Tiankong. Yun Peng did not do the etiquette of a martial artist and directly attacked. This was clearly immoral behavior, but Yun Tiankong sat as steady as a mountain on the stone lion chair and did not react at all. This meant that the match continued and there was no violation of the rules. Yun Xiao's mood immediately fell to the bottom. It seemed that the Yun family's patriarch still valued the 2 direct descendants. Yunzei was not the strongest, but now that he had been ambushed, Yun Xiao broke out in a cold sweat for his little brother. Beauty Yun Xiao, don't be nervous. It's just a sneak attack, it's no big deal. This kind of family martial competition doesn't really care much about individual strength. When the next round of the competition begins, it will be the most intense moment. At that time, I will appear to help little brother Yunzei, you don't have to worry. Luo Bin suddenly came to Yun Xiao's side. Luo Bin had specially dressed up today. He was wearing a white suit, and his hair was combed until it was shiny. He was playing with a folding fan in his hand. He was simply a typical playboy. In order to help his brother find a backer, Yun Xiao was engaged to the eldest son of the Luo family, one of the 5 small families in the capital, Luo Bin. Today was the day of the Yun family's martial meet, so Luo Bin naturally had to come. Yun Xiao felt Luo Bin come over and was about to touch his body. A look of disgust flashed in Yun Xiao's eyes, But when he saw his little brother lying on the stage, Yun Xiao squeezed out a smile. Young Master Luo, I'll thank you on behalf of Yunzhe first. I hope that young Master Luo will support me in the competition later. Luo Bin had known Yun Xiao for a period of time, but he had never seen Yun Xiao smile at him. Now that Yun Xiao's smile bloomed, it was as clear and moving as a white lotus. It was as if a cool breeze had blown past, causing Luo Bin to feel that the smell of the air had become more fragrant. Ha ha! Beauty Yun Xiao, why are you being so polite with me? After a while, we will be a family. Your brother is my brother, so I naturally have to take care of my own people. Luo Bin had a wretched smile on his face. As he spoke, he moved closer to Yun Xiao and extended his right hand towards Yun Xiao's small waist, wanting to hug Yun Xiao. Yun Xiao had already noticed Luo Bin's actions. Before Luo Bin could succeed, Yun Xiao hurriedly stepped aside and forced a smile. Young Master Luo, there are too many people now, let's focus on the competition. Luo Bin's hand touched empty air, and he was somewhat displeased. However, he also knew that he would not be able to eat hot tofu if he was impatient. Beauty Yun Xiao is right. Then after I help little brother Yunzhe obtain the position of patriarch, let's find a quiet place to properly nurture our relationship. Luo Bin's smile became more and more wretched. Yun Xiao felt disgusted just by looking at it. However, for the sake of her brother's dream and 20 years of hard work, Yun Xiao tried her best to control her emotions. She stood quietly at the side and did not speak to Luo Bin. She was constantly paying attention to the progress of the competition. On the training field, Yunzhe sat on the ground. Yunping was still saying all sorts of sarcastic words to Yunzhe. Yunzhe did not seem to hear these words, nor did he pay any attention to Yunping. He was quickly circulating his inner qi to heal his injuries. Haha! You're just a coward. I've already scolded you like this, but you can't even let out a fart. Beating a rookie like you will dirty my hands. Go and die. Yunpeng had enough of acting cool. He suddenly raised his foot and stomped towards Yunzhe. Before his foot landed, a strong gust of wind rose from the bottom of Yunpeng's foot. It was as if he was stepping on Yunzhe's life. Boom! A muffled sound rang out. Yunpeng's foot landed on the ground, leaving a footprint on the hard concrete ground. This step had obviously missed. Damn it, you dare to play with me? You've been secretly healing your injuries just now. Yunping suddenly realized something was amiss. His eyes flashed with surprise and a trace of fear. Yunzhe had already leaped up at some point in time, holding a round rod wrapped in a black cloth bag in his hand. The round rod descended from the sky and directly smashed onto Yunpeng's shoulder. Yunpeng's legs went limp and he knelt in front of Yunzhe. Cousin Yunpeng, thank you very much. You taught me to give you a taste of your own medicine. This strike was too sudden, and it even made Yunpeng kneel on the ground. Cries of alarm rang out from all directions. The Yun family's relatives were all stunned. Damn it, which bastard raised this bastard? How dare he sneak attack my son? An angry roar came from the group of relatives. Yunpeng's father, Yunming, was cursing loudly. When Yunpeng ambushed him just now, Yunming was very happy. Now that his son had been ambushed, he was unhappy. What was going on? Yunming's roar was so loud that everyone in the family could hear it. Everyone was very dissatisfied with Yunming's actions, but no one dared to stand out to reason. The faces of Yun Zhao's family darkened. Yun Xiao really wanted to go up and argue with Yunming, but in the end, he was stopped by his parents. On the training field, the battle between Yunzhe and Yunpeng had just begun. Yunzhe's rod descended, followed by a backflip. He stepped on Yunpeng's chest and sent him flying. Yunpeng spat out a few mouthfuls of blood as soon as he landed on the ground. This time, he was completely enraged by Yunzhe. With a swing of his hand, a silver nunchaku flew out. Stinking brat, I want you to die a horrible death. Yunpeng roared angrily as he leaped onto Yunzhe's head. Yunpeng had just broken through to the 6th level, so he was one realm higher than Yunzhe. His speed was so fast that Yunzhe couldn't even react in time. Pa pa pa! As the nunchaku fell, the shadows of the sticks overlapped each other. It was as if firecrackers were being set off in the air, and the sound of wind breaking rose and fell continuously. Yunzei hurriedly waved his fire rod to counterattack, but he was still a bit too slow. His chest was struck by the nunchaku more than a dozen times, and his white training clothes were torn into shreds. Cough, cough, cough. The power of these dozen or so sticks was enormous, causing Yunzei to retreat repeatedly. As he retreated, he couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. Humph! It's simply the strength of an ant. Beating you is as easy as beating a wild dog. Yunpeng no longer gave Yunzei any chance to catch his breath. With a sneer, he flew up once again. The nunchaku in his hand collided with each other, and directly merged into one, turning into a long silver steel rod. The steel rod descended from the sky, bringing with it waves of strong winds. The powerful aura scared the Yunxiao family so much that they didn't dare to breathe. Yunzei's expression was calm. He bent his back and stood on the training field. The breeze messed up his elegant long hair, revealing his handsome and pale face. Yunzei raised his hand, and the black cloth bag that was originally wrapped around the round stick automatically fell off. A domineering and mighty-looking fire rod with an orange glow appeared. Crash! The moment the fire rod appeared, the entire training field was filled with cries of surprise. Even Yun Tian, who was as steady as Mount Tai on the stone lion chair, stood up. His old eyes flickered, and the white eyebrows on his eyes trembled slightly. This is an orange-grade spirit weapon? The Yun family was a family of refining, and everyone present was proficient in spirit weapons. Weapons were very common in the Yun family, but spirit weapons were rare. The Yun family could forge their own white-grade spirit weapons and sell them, but they could only forge 5 orange-grade spirit weapons a year. Even the 2 direct descendants of the Yun family, Yun Fan and Yun Peng, only used white-grade spirit weapons. Yunzei actually had an orange-grade spirit weapon? This was indeed out of everyone's expectations. Yun Peng was also shocked, causing his attack to pause for a moment. In this pause of less than a second, Yunzei flipped his hand, and the fire rod seemed to have a life of its own as it whizzed past with a ball of flames, causing Yun Peng to be dumbstruck. Boom! The ball of flames rose more than 3 meters high, and instantly burned Yun Peng's clothes. Yun Peng's clothes were immediately ignited by the fire, and his entire body became a flaming person. The flames grew wildly, and Yun Peng's appearance could no longer be seen clearly. Even the outline of his body could not be seen, and only the wails of ghosts and howls of wolves could be heard from the flames. Cheating, Yunzei, this bastard is cheating. He actually has an orange-grade spirit weapon, how can my son fight him? Yun Ming was so angry that he was screaming. He wanted nothing more than to fly up and destroy Yunzei. Yun Zhao's family was extremely shocked. Even they did not know when Yunzei had obtained an orange-grade spirit weapon. The entire training field fell silent. There was only the whistling of the fire and the wind and Yun Peng's screams. Chapter 696. Cousin Yunpeng, are you all right? Yunzei looked at Yunpeng, who was frozen like a dog in the cold wind, and could not help but ask in concern. As soon as he said this, Yunzei felt that he was very cheap. Yunzei knew that he wasn't someone who would kick someone when they were down in the past. But why did he become like this? Very quickly, Yunzei found the answer. Ever since he met Big Brother Qin Feng, he had become like this. You. Achio, you wait, I want Achio. It was winter now, Yun Peng's clothes had all been burned, and he had even been splashed with a basin of cold water. He felt like his entire body was about to freeze into a popsicle, and he wanted to scold Yunzei angrily. But the moment he opened his mouth, he sneezed, which angered Yun Peng to death. Cousin Yunpeng, it's cold now. Why did you come out after taking a bath? Hurry back, don't catch a cold. Yunzei could not help but add another stab. Yun Peng was so angry that he started to roll his eyes. The 2 black-clothed guards jumped onto the training grounds. One of them walked to Yun Peng's side and directly brought him down. The other came to Yunzei's side and announced to everyone, "The victor of this match, Yunzei." Yunzei had won. Yun Zhao's family jumped up in excitement. Yunzei was stunned on the martial arts field. His heart was in turmoil. He knew that he was one step closer to the position of patriarch. Outside the martial arts arena, Yun Fan's face was so cold that water was about to drip out. He never thought that Yunzei would defeat Yun Peng. When Yun Fan saw Yunzei's raging fire rod, he was also shocked. His gaze landed on the raging fire rod on Yunzei's waist, and he looked like he was drooling. At the end of the 5 matches, 4 victors were born. Yunzei and the other 3 were sitting in the waiting area, waiting for Yun Fan's last match. Yun Fan and Yunlei were already on the stage. Yunlei was a 3rd-generation collateral relative of the Yun family. He was not very strong and had just entered stage 4 inner chi. From the moment he drew the ball to the moment he fought Yun Fan, he had been wearing a long face. There was no suspense in this match. "Humph! An ant like you, I'll give you an arm!" When Yun Fan saw that Yun Peng had been abused just now, he was suppressing his anger. As soon as he got on the stage, he sent out a palm strike. There was no need to talk nonsense at all. Rumble! Yun Fan's palm strike revealed his stage 8 inner chi without a doubt. There seemed to be bursts of thunder over the martial arts field. Standing on the martial arts field, Yunlei could feel the slight shaking of the ground. This was not a competition of the same level at all. As soon as Yun Fan made his move, Yunlei knelt down on the ground with a flop. He had been scared out of his wits. "Cousin Yun Fan, I give up. Please stop," Yun Fan said. Yunlei admitted that he was no match for Yun Fan, so he began to kneel down and beg for mercy. However, Yun Fan didn't seem to hear him. Before Yunlei finished his words, his palm had fallen on Yunlei's chest. Rumble! With a muffled sound, Yunlei flew out as if he had been hit by a speeding truck. He spat out a few mouthfuls of blood in the air, which splashed the martial arts field red. Ka-cha! After flying for dozens of meters, Yunlei's body finally landed on the ground. The sound of bones breaking came from his body. Lying on the ground, he couldn't even let out a scream. His painful expression was unbearable. "Bastard, you're too much. My son Lei has already knelt down and begged for mercy. How could you be so cruel to him? Your cousins after all. How could you be so cruel?" Yunlei was severely injured with one palm strike, and his sternum was broken. Yunlei's family members were so angry that they started cursing. They didn't care about their status anymore. Their son was dying, and Yun Fan and Yun Peng's families were too overbearing. They didn't take their collateral relatives seriously at all. "Who are you calling a bastard? Believe it or not, I'll beat you up!" Yun Tao, Yun Fan's father, suddenly jumped out and pointed at Yunlei's father. Yun Tao's aura was astonishing, and his inner chi was strong. Yunlei's father immediately became listless. He finally understood the situation. There was no place for collateral relatives like them to speak. "Be quiet!" Yun Tiankong's majestic and old voice sounded. His powerful aura immediately suppressed everyone into silence. "Announce the result!" Yun Tiankong didn't comment on the battle just now. He directly let the black-clothed guards announce the result. One of them jumped onto the martial arts field and announced that Yun Fan was the winner of this round. Now, in the first round of the martial arts competition, there were 5 candidates for the patriarch, and the other 7 were directly eliminated. The Yun family's rule was to choose 3 candidates for the position of patriarch in the martial arts competition. Then, the 3 of them would enter the following martial arts competition. Finally, the combined results of the 2 martial arts competitions would select the new patriarch. Now that there were 5 candidates, it was time for the second round of the martial arts competition. The black-clothed guards once again walked onto the martial arts field with the black box. Yunzei and the other 4 people took out a red ball from the black box. "Number 1! After the ball was drawn, Yun Fan and Yun Yuanba shouted the number 1 at the same time. "Number 2! Yunzei and the only female contestant, Yun Yu, drew the number 2. The remaining contestant, Yun Bei Shan, drew the number 3 ball. He didn't need to compete in this round and directly advanced to the next round. Yun Fan had already stepped onto the stage, but Yun Yuanba didn't dare to step onto the stage. Yun Fan's previous palm strike contained a level 8 inner chi, and this person was vicious and merciless. Yun Yuanba was only at level 5 inner chi, so how could he dare to compete with Yun Fan? Right now, he only wanted to be safe and sound. Yun Yuanba didn't dare to think about the title of patriarch anymore. Big cousin Yun Fan, I know I'm no match for you. I forfeit the right to participate in the patriarch election. Yun Yuanba hesitated for a moment, but in the end, he chose to give up. When he thought of his cousin Yun Lei's miserable state, his heart turned cold. Trash, hurry up and scram! Yun Fan didn't even look at Yun Yuanba as he directly cursed. His voice was deliberately loud, so that all the Yun family members present could hear him clearly. Yun Yuanba was so angry that he wanted to die, but he didn't dare to show it. He didn't even have the courage to glare at Yun Fan, so he quickly ran away with his tail between his legs. Yun Yuanba's automatic forfeit did not surprise anyone. The cheering group all had calm expressions on their faces, as if Yun Yuanba's decision was a matter of course. Yun Fan was powerful and invincible. Before the fight even started, he had already scared his opponent away. A black-clothed guard leaped onto the stage and announced, "The results of the second round's first match, Yun Fan wins. Yun Fan and Yun Beishan have successfully advanced to the next round of the strength competition." 2 spots had already appeared, and there was only 1 spot left. Yun Zhe and Yun Yu were already standing on the stage, and the last spot was about to be born from them. "Little sister Yun Yu, I'm sorry!" Yun Zhe saluted Yun Yu with a martial artist's etiquette. Yun Yu's eyes carried a complicated expression as she returned the greeting. "Cousin Yun Zhe, your strength is higher than mine, so you don't need to show mercy later. You and I both want to take the position of young patriarch, so we just need to do our best. Regardless of whether we win or lose, we won't have any complaints." Yun Zhe and Yun Yu were playmates in private. They had practiced martial arts together since they were young and had helped each other grow up. The two of them never thought that they would have to decide the victor in the arena today. "Little sister Yun Yu, I won't use the fire rod in the battle later." Yun Zhe forced a smile. Yun Zhe and Yun Yu were both at the inner 5th stage. If Yun Zhe used the fire rod, then there was no suspense in the outcome. Yun Yu's heart trembled slightly. She wanted to refuse, but seeing her cousin's resolute expression, Yun Yu opened her mouth and closed it in the end. "Thank you, cousin Yun Zhe. Then we won't use weapons. Let's begin." Yun Zhe nodded slightly. The two of them bowed once again, and then set up their respective formations. Yun Yu let out a soft chuckle as her slender figure suddenly sped up. In the blink of an eye, she had arrived in front of Yun Zhe. Her jade-like palm struck out, looking weak and powerless, but it brought about gusts of violent wind. "So powerful, little sister Yun Yu's strength has improved again!" Yun Zhe cried out in alarm and hurriedly dodged to the side. Yun Yu's jade-like palm that could have struck Yun Zhe's chest stopped for a moment, and in the end, it missed. "Cousin Yun Zhe, if you don't use your full strength, then I really won't show mercy." After a soft chuckle, Yun Yu leaped up once again. She was like a swallow, nimble, quickly changing around Yun Zhe. Bang! Yun Yu found the right opportunity and struck out with her palm once again. In the end, Yun Zhe was still soft-hearted and was unable to fully focus on fighting Yun Yu. This time, Yun Yu did not hold back and directly landed on Yun Zhe's back, sending him flying. Pfft! Yun Zhe was already heavily injured in his previous battle with Yun Ping. Now that he had suffered a palm strike, he started to vomit blood again. "Cousin Yun Zhe, are you all right?" Yun Yu frowned and with a light leap, she arrived beside Yun Zhe. "I'm fine, cousin. Just continue attacking. Don't show any mercy." Yun Zhe forced himself to stand up. A complicated light appeared in Yun Yu's beautiful eyes, but in the end she gritted her teeth and sent another palm strike towards Yun Zhe. Boom! With this palm strike, Yun Yu had unleashed all of her inner chi. She really did not want to continue fighting with Yun Zhe. She felt that it was better to suffer a short amount of pain than a long time. Yunzei had already become vigilant. Although he could not bear to hurt Yunyu, the position of patriarch was Yunzei's goal and dream since he was young. On this path, Yunzei would not easily give up. "Cousin, be careful!" Yunzei roared, and the aura on his body suddenly soared. With the help of the blood chi pill, Yunzei had long since broken through to the 5th level of inner chi. Right now, he was at the peak of the 5th level and had the potential to break through to the 6th level at any time. Yunzei's explosive power was extremely strong, causing Yunyu's speed to slow down a little. A huge white palm surged over and was about to land on Yunyu's chest. Bang! A loud sound rang out, and everyone in the cheering group stared blankly. Yunzei's body flew out and landed on the cement ground more than 10 meters away. The moment he landed, he spat out 2 mouthfuls of blood. Yunyu was still clapping her hands. Her big, watery eyes were filled with mist. The powerful aura from Yunzei's palm strike just now caused Yunyu's heart to tremble. This was also the first time Yunyu had seen her cousin Yunzei's true strength. So it turned out that during the sparring match between the two of them, cousin Yunzei had been giving in to her? Chapter 697. Cries of surprise came from the cheering group. Everyone was clearly shocked by this result. This was different from what they had imagined. Yunzei's strength was only below Yunfan and Yunpeng, and Yunpeng had even been defeated by Yunzei. Although Yunyu was also one of the best of the younger generation, if they were to really fight, she would definitely not be a match for Yunzei. When the Yun family saw Yunzei lying in a pool of blood, all sorts of feelings welled up in their hearts. Of course they knew Yunzei's difficulties. Yunzei had always been righteous and kind since he was young. It was truly too difficult for him to fight against little sister Yunyu. While the crowd was discussing, the black-clothed guard had already arrived at the stage. Without waiting for the black-clothed guard to announce the result, Yunyu suddenly shouted, "Wait! I give up on this round. I will withdraw from the patriarch selection." Another round of exclamations rang out. The black-clothed guard of the Yun family was about to announce that Yunyu had won the competition and become the last candidate for the position of young patriarch. However, this sudden turn of events caused the black-clothed guard to be stunned for a moment. "Yunyu!" Yunzei endured the pain in his body and shouted for Yunyu. Without waiting for Yunzei to continue, Yunyu gave him a brilliant smile and interrupted Yunzei's words. "Cousin Yunzei, you must obtain the position of young patriarch. From now on, little sister Yue will follow you." Yunyu had already made up her mind. As soon as she finished speaking, her beautiful figure jumped off the stage and returned to her parents' cheering group. Yunzei's heart was filled with mixed feelings. He looked at Yunyu's nimble back and a resolute look appeared in his eyes. "Yunzei has won the second match of the second round. Now that the 3 candidates for the young patriarch have appeared, we can enter the second round of the family martial competition, the great competition." The voice of the black-clothed guard rang out. The first round of the martial competition had come to an end. The second round of the competition was just like its name. It was a competition between the various forces behind the 3 candidates. The more powerful the candidate was, the more people would naturally think highly of him and support him. Yunzei and the other 2 candidates were already standing on the training field. Most of the people in the cheering group had a dejected look on their faces. This was because their children had already been eliminated. What happened next was obviously not important to them. However, there were 3 groups of people who became even more excited. They were the families of Yunzei, Yunfan, and Yun Beishan. On the martial arts field, Yunfan stood with his hands behind his back, standing in the middle of the 3 of them. His line of sight was 45 degrees towards the sky, and he had an arrogant and unruly look on his face. He did not take Yunzei and Yun Beishan seriously at all. Yunzei stood on the right, his hands tightly gripping the corners of his clothes, looking a little nervous. Yunzei was not afraid of competing in the previous round. Even if he met Yunfan as his opponent, Yunzei would still do his best to fight. If he lost in the end, Yunzei would have no regrets. However, this segment was a competition of power. Yunzhe himself did not have any power, nor did his parents. He had to rely on his sister's marriage with the Luo family to pull in the Luo family's power. However, Yunzhe was not satisfied with his sister and Luo Bin's marriage. Yunzhe blamed himself for making things difficult for his sister. The three of them stood still. The black-clothed guard had already walked onto the stage. The second segment of the strength competition had officially begun. Wait! I have something to say. Yun Beishan, who was standing on the far left, suddenly took a step forward and bowed to the black-clothed guard. Then, he looked at Yun Fan and revealed a fawning smile as he continued. Big cousin Yun Fan, I won't be competing in this round. How can a small fry like me compare to the backing behind you? I am willing to give up the right to compete for the position of young patriarch. I hope that after cousin Yun Fan wins the position of patriarch, you can accept me as a follower or something. Yun Beishan's sudden action caused everyone to be extremely surprised. If Yun Beishan had been like Yun Yuanba and voluntarily forfeited in the previous round of the tournament, it would have been fine. But now, he had already reached the final step and had a 1 in 3 chance of obtaining the position of young patriarch. In the end, Yun Beishan did not even try and directly forfeited. This was something that could only be done with ruthlessness. Hee. Cousin Beishan is very self-aware. Don't worry, after I become the young patriarch, I will arrange some fat jobs for your family, unlike some fools who are still fantasizing about being able to compete for the position of young patriarch. Is there something wrong with this kind of person's brain? Yun Fan chuckled as he patted Yun Beishan's shoulder. While praising Yun Beishan, he did not forget to ridicule Yunzhe. Yun Beishan was also a bootlicker as he hurriedly echoed. Big cousin Yunzhe is right. Some silly brats are lucky to be able to reach this step. Since he still hasn't come out to curry favor with big cousin, he still wants to compete with big cousin for the position of young patriarch? This kind of person's fate will definitely be very tragic. I don't even dare to think about it. Yun Fan nodded his head repeatedly. The more he looked at Yun Beishan, the more he liked him. The two of them were echoing each other, naturally for Yunzhe to hear. Yunzhe was not a fool, so of course he could tell. However, Yunzhe completely ignored the two of them. Yunzhe had worked hard for the dream of becoming the young patriarch for 20 years. If he still could not obtain the position of the young patriarch after working hard, then he would have no regrets. However, if he were to learn from Yun Beishan and escape at the last minute because of Yun Fan's strength, Yunzhe would never do such a thing even if he died. Furthermore, Yunzhe was not alone in the competition for the young patriarch. He still carried the hopes of Yun Yu. Stop wasting time. Cousin Beishan, since you have already forfeited, then leave the stage. Cousin Yun Fan and I still have to continue the competition. Yunzhe interrupted the two of them, his face filled with determination. Yun Beishan and Yun Fan's faces instantly darkened. Yun Beishan glared at Yunzhe and angrily walked down the stage. On the stage, only Yunzhe and Yun Beishan were left. The two of them were the last two candidates for the position of young patriarch today. The crowd at the side had already started to discuss with each other. Most of these voices were the men who thought highly of Yun Fan's chances of becoming the young patriarch. Some of the family members had already started to surround Yun Fan's father, Yun Tao, saying all sorts of good things to flatter Yun Tao. The young patriarch had already been decided, so everyone had to do everything they could to please the young patriarch's family. Otherwise, they would not have a foothold in the Yun family in the future. Big brother Yun Tao, do you still remember that when Yun Fan was born, I said that he would definitely be a dragon among men in the future, and that he would be the next young patriarch of the Yun family? What did I say? Now it's all proven. Brother Yun, my family's Yun Qing usually gets along well with your family's Yun Fan. This time, Yun Fan has become the young patriarch. When the time comes, our two families will have to interact more. Haha. Big brother Yun, from now on, my entire family will follow you. Almost all of the Yun family's relatives surrounded Yun Tao. Many of them stood at the outermost area, not even having the chance to speak to Yun Tao. Yunzhe's family, who were also candidates, also stood on the side of the family. However, there were almost no relatives who came to greet Yun Zhao's parents and establish a relationship with them. No one thought that Yun Zhe could compare to Yun Fan in terms of power. If they were to greet Yun Zhao's parents now, wouldn't they be oppressed when Yun Fan became the young patriarch? On the stage, Yun Fan looked at the huge gap below him with a complacent expression. Yun Zhe felt a little uncomfortable in his heart. It wasn't because of the power of these relatives, but because his own campaign had caused his family and sister to be neglected by his relatives. Now, the competition will officially begin. 2 candidates, which one of you will go first? The black-clothed guard's voice sounded out. Yun Fan looked at Yun Zhe with a playful expression and said in a strange tone, "Let that silly brat go first. Otherwise, after I reveal my power, this idiot won't even have the courage to reveal his backer." From the beginning to the end, Yun Fan did not place Yun Zhe in his eyes. He always spoke in a sarcastic tone, putting on a high and mighty attitude. Yun Zhe did not care about all this, but he also admitted that what Yun Fan said was the truth. As the main target of the Yun family's nurturing, Yun Fan was naturally favored by all the powers in the world. Yun Zhe had already tried his best to rope in the forces, but no one thought highly of him. He had relied on his own abilities to get to where he was, so Yun Zhe did not regret it. Since Yun Fan had asked Yun Zhe to display his power first, Yun Xiao had already brought Luo Bin to the training grounds. Luo Bin's appearance on the stage caused quite a commotion. This person was the eldest grandson of the Luo family, one of the 5 small families in the capital. His status was not to be underestimated. "I never thought that Yun Zhe's family would be able to climb up to the Luo family's young master. This is quite a big backer." "Humph! Didn't he sell Yun Zhao's beauty and rely on marriage to pull him over? It's just a Luo family, in front of Yun Fan's backer, it's useless." Yun Zhe stood on the stage and heard someone say that his family had sold their elder sister's beauty to bring Luo Bin over. He was so angry that he clenched his fists tightly, and the veins on his arms bulged. "Little brother, don't act recklessly. We've already come this far, persevere." Yun Xiao saw his brother's abnormality the moment he stepped onto the stage and quickly grabbed his brother's fist. The hostility on Yun Zhe's face quickly dissipated, and the gaze in his red eyes softened. "Sis, I'm sorry." Yun Zhao's heart surged with a wave of sourness. His heart ached as he helped his brother wipe away the dried blood at the corner of his mouth. "Don't say such nonsense. We're family, there's nothing to be sorry about." "Ha ha. Seniors of the Yun family, this junior Luo Bin, the eldest grandson of the Luo family of the 5 small families, has come to participate in the Yun family's martial competition today in order to help little brother Yun Zhe. Yun Xiao and I have already decided on our marriage. In the future, Yun Zhe will be my little brother, and our Luo family will naturally stand on Yun Zhe's side." Luo Bin had already begun to speak. What he meant was that his Luo family wanted to be Yun Zhe's backer. The discussion below continued. Yun Fan stood at the side with a cold smile on his face. He had long known about Yun Xiao and Luo Bin's marriage, but Yun Fan did not care at all, because in his eyes, Luo Bin was just a clown. After Luo Bin finished speaking, he took the initiative to retreat to the side. The black-clothed guard went up on stage and looked at Yun Zhe. "Do you have any other backing?" Yun Zhe looked at his sister. Yun Xiao frowned slightly and shook her head in self-blame. Yun Xiao had already done her best, but she could only pull Luo Bin from the Luo family. Chapter 698. When Yun Zhe saw his sister shake her head, he knew that there were no other forces that could stand up for him. Yun Zhe looked at the black-clothed guard and was about to speak when a white shadow flew over. "Top, top, top! Lian Yu from the capital's 5 minor families is here!" A loud shout came from midair. After a few breaths, Lian Yu, who was wearing a white tracksuit, landed beside Yun Zhe. "Lian Yu? This is the eldest grandson of the Liang family, right? I didn't expect Yun Zhe to know the Liang family. This will be interesting. What's there to see? Lian Yu and Luo Bin are both from the 5 minor families. In a place like the capital where there are hidden dragons and crouching tigers, the power of the 5 minor families can only be considered average. Yun Fan just has to call for someone from the 4 major families to hold the fort, and he can beat Yun Zhe up in minutes. The discussion started again. Lian Yu's sudden appearance surprised many people. They had never heard that Yun Zhe's family had any contact with the Liang family. Lian Yu was wearing a white tracksuit that shone with a holy white light under the sunlight. He stood like a pine tree on the martial arts field with a calm expression, but his heart was racing. The relatives of the Yun family were right. Lian Yu had nothing to do with Yun Zhe's family, so he did not want to participate in the Yun family's martial arts gathering. However, not long ago, Lian Yu received a call from hero Green Wolf. Green Wolf asked Lian Yu to rush to the Yun family to support Yun Zhe. Even if Lian Yu was extremely unwilling, he could only rush over sullenly. Liang, young Master Liang. Why you're here to help my brother, Yun Zhe, run for the position of patriarch? Yun Xiao had already returned to her senses. She looked at Lian Yu with some confusion. Why did Lian Yu want to help his brother? Yun Zhe also had a puzzled expression. Yun Fan's arrogant face turned cold, and Luo Bin had already retreated more than 10 steps, maintaining a distance of a few meters from Lian Yu. Ever since Lian Yu had appeared, Luo Bin's legs had begun to tremble in fear. He could still clearly remember that night in the Soaring Cloud Manor, when Lian Yu had suddenly gone crazy and violently beaten him up. Lian Yu's gaze landed on Yun Zhe as he said, "Little brother Yun Zhe, I'm here to represent the Liang family to congratulate you. I hope that you can seize the position of the young master, and that our 2 families can cooperate further in the future." Lian Yu said this gloomily. Their family's young family head election was about to begin. Lian Yu had not even settled his own matters, but he was forced by Green Wolf to help Yun Zhe fight for the position of family head. Just thinking about it made Lian Yu's balls ache. Lian Yu's words made his attitude clear. This person was actually here to help Yun Zhe. Another round of discussion arose below. Yun Fan's expression became even colder. He never thought that Yun Zhe would actually be able to pull in 2 pretty good backing forces. In Yun Fan's eyes, this family martial meet was originally a gathering for him to act cool, but now that Yun Zhe had repeatedly taken the limelight, Yun Fan was already very unhappy. After Lian Yu expressed his stance, he also stood to the side. Luo Bin kept a few meters away from Lian Yu. This behavior made Lian Yu want to laugh. The black-clothed guard went up the stage again. He looked at Yun Zhe and asked, "If you've roped in other forces, you can invite them all up the stage at once." This time, Yun Zhe did not need to look at his sister to know that he had no backing. Lian Yu's appearance was an accident. Even now, Yun Zhe and Yun Xiao could not understand it. "My people are gone for now," Yun Zhe said with some disappointment. He also felt that the Liang family and the Luo family were clearly not a match for Yun Fan. "Ha ha! That's it. I thought you would be able to call more people. In the end, you only managed to pull in 2 of the 5 small families' backers? What a disappointment!" Hearing that Yun Zhe did not have any backup forces, Yun Fan immediately laughed out loud. He had never considered other people's feelings. He had always been thinking of ways to make sarcastic remarks to stand out. Yun Zhe's backers had appeared, and there were only 2 of them. Just looking at the scene made one feel cold. The black-clothed guard looked at Yun Fan. It was Yun Fan's turn to show his power. "Young Master Yun Fan, it's your turn." The black-clothed guard's way of addressing Yun Fan had changed. Even he felt that Yun Fan was undoubtedly the young master. Yun Fan nodded at the black-clothed guard. He really liked this kind of person who could read between the lines. "Dear relatives of the Yun family, the position of master today is already obvious. However, in order to make that idiot Yun Zhe lose wholeheartedly, I will now invite my companions from the forces." Yun Fan stood on the martial arts field with a pretentious aura. As soon as he finished speaking, 5 figures suddenly appeared from below the stage. A moment later there were 5 more people on the martial arts field. Standing in the middle was a middle-aged man in a gray robe. The moment he went up on stage, he caused a commotion. He was the deputy team leader of the Dragon Gate's Xian team, Song Changxing. On either side of Song Changxing stood a young man. The fat man in a wine-red suit was the young master of the Lu family, Lu Shu. The one in a blue suit was the young master of the Yang family, Yang Ken. These two were two of the capital cities for young masters. Their appearance also brought great shock to the Yun family members below the stage. On the other side were the martial artists from the outer sect. The one in the black training clothes was the inner disciple of the Flame sect, Guanghui, and the one in the white robe was the disciple of the Quick Blade sect, Hai Feng. These 5 people represented different forces, from the big families of the capital to the Huaxia Dragon sect, and even the sects of the outer martial arts world came to help. This lineup really stunned the Yun family. Yun Fan swept his gaze across his relatives below the stage. He was very satisfied with the shock and exaggerated reactions on their faces. Song Changxing had already begun to speak, expressing his position. Following Lu Shu and Yang Can's words, Guanghui and Hai Feng also expressed their attitudes. These 5 forces were only the strongest 5 of the forces that Yun Fan had invited. There were still a dozen or so people from the smaller forces below the stage who had yet to come up. This was because just Song Changxing's group of 5 was enough to crush the forces that Yun Zhe had invited. The other small forces simply did not need to waste time on stage. The black-clothed guard was stunned, and only recovered after a while. His attitude towards Yun Fan had become even more respectful. In the eyes of the black-clothed guard, Yun Fan was undoubtedly the young master. Young Master Yun Fan, do you still have other forces that you haven't invited up? Yun Fan's face was filled with arrogance. He looked at Yun Zhe proudly and said, "There are still a dozen or so small forces that I won't let up. Just these 5 friends on stage are enough to suppress Yun Zhe's backer. I don't care about trash like him at all." Yun Fan had looked down on Yun Zhe from the beginning. Now, he did not even have the mood to suppress Yun Zhe. It was because Yun Zhe's forces were too weak. Yun Fan did not even care about a small character like Yun Zhe. Yun Zhe and Yun Xiao had disappointed expressions on their faces. Both of them could tell that the election this time was considered a failure. However, Yun Zhe quickly adjusted his mood and let out a long sigh of relief. Now, his sister did not need to be together with that playboy, Luo Bin. Eh? Isn't this the brat from the Luo family and the brat from the Liang family? Why did you come here for no reason? Hurry up and go back. Yang Qin and Lu Shu suddenly walked to Liang Yu and Luo Bin's side. As 2 of the capitals for young masters, they naturally did not care about Liang Yu and Luo Bin. Luo Bin was already trembling in fear. He did not expect Yun Fan to be so domineering. He actually called 2 of the capitals for young masters over. If Luo Bin had known about this earlier, he would not have dared to stand up for Yun Zhe even if he was beaten to death. Hee hee! Young Master Lu, young Master Yang, I really did not expect to meet the 2 of you here. Please don't misunderstand. My purpose here is the same as the 2 of you. I am here to help young Master Yun Fan in the election for the position of young master. Under the might of Lu Shu and Yang Qin, Luo Bin was like a chameleon, instantly changing sides. Yun Zhe and Yun Xiao were stunned. Both of their faces revealed a cold expression. Luo Bin's action of running away at the last minute was too infuriating. Ha ha! Didn't you say you would help Yun Zhe just now? Why did you suddenly change your mind? Ha ha! I'm dying of laughter. Yun Fan was amused by Luo Bin's actions and could not stop laughing. That arrogant aura made people want to slap him in the face. Luo Bin was angry, but he did not dare to say anything. He still had to smile and say, "Young Master Yun Fan, did you hear wrongly? I said I would help you just now. Why would I help Yun Zhe? He's such a noob. He's practically here to die." Since Luo Bin had decided to betray him, he might as well go all the way. He began to act like a fool and shamelessly tried to curry favor with Yun Fan. Yun Fan's smile became more and more complacent. The Yun family's relatives below the stage were also amused by this big blunder. They were all laughing at Yun Zhe's family. None of them supported Yun Zhe's family. Luo Bin had already betrayed them. Lu Shu and Yang Qin revealed a playful expression and looked at Liang Yu. Lian Yu, why are you still standing there like a fool? Are you an idiot? Hurry up and learn from Luo Bin and surrender. Lian Yu had been standing behind Yun Zhe. Even though Luo Bin had betrayed him, he did not make a single move. This scene slightly surprised Yang Ken and Lu Shu. They heard that Lian Yu had gone crazy in the Soaring Cloud Manor some time ago and violently beat up the people from the 5 small families in the capital. This guy was also behaving abnormally today. Did he take the wrong medicine recently? Lian Yu definitely did not take the wrong medicine. He had never taken any medicine at all. Only Lian Yu himself knew his current feelings of despair and helplessness. Lian Yu did not want to offend Yang Ken and Lu Shu, but he was more afraid of Green Wolf's threat. It was said that Hero Green Wolf was a Stage 9 inner chi expert. If he went against him, Green Wolf could burn Lian Yu to death with a fireball. After hesitating for a moment, Lian Yu could only bite the bullet and look at Yang Ken and Lu Shu. He shouted fiercely. You want me to betray you too? Who do you think I am? I'll say it here today. I swear to support little brother Yun Zhe with my life. Lian Yu's voice was as loud as a bell and carried a strong sense of anger. His words stunned everyone. Everyone looked at Lian Yu in astonishment, thinking that this person must have taken the wrong medicine. Yun Zhe and Yun Xiao were dumbfounded. Both of them looked confused. They were not familiar with Lian Yu at all. Why would this person suddenly appear to support them? Could he have mistaken him for someone else? Chapter 699. The Yun family was stunned. Yun Fan and his companions were stunned. Have you made up your mind? You want to go against us? Yang Ken was so angry that his face turned green. He really wanted to pry open Lian Yu's head to see if there was something wrong with him. Don't talk so much nonsense. I've made up my mind since I stood here. Lian Yu knew he could no longer turn back. Ding, ding, ding. Good, very good. Remember this, I'll make sure your Lian family can't survive in the provincial capital. Yang Ken was furious. He threw down some threatening words, turned around, and returned to Yun Fan's side with the willow tree. Both parties' forces were already on the stage. There were only 2 forces on Yun Zhe's side. In the end, one of them jumped to Yun Fan's side. There was no suspense in the outcome of this strength competition. In the strength competition, both parties have invited their respective forces. Now, Old Master Yun will announce the result. The black-clothed guard looked at Yun Tiankong, who was sitting on the highest stone lion chair, and waited for him to announce the final result. Everyone's gaze fell on Yun Tiankong. Yun Tiankong slowly stood up with a dignified expression. Even though he hadn't announced the result, everyone already knew it. On the side of the family, Yun Zhao's parents were thrown to the side by themselves. There was not a single Yun family member within 10 meters of them. Those relatives surrounded Yun Tao, and Yun Tao's old face was about to cramp from laughing so hard. I now announce that the new young master of the Yun family is... Yun Tiankong's deep and aged voice spread out with a rolling aura. It was as intimidating as the beating of a drum. Halfway through his sentence, another shout suddenly sounded in midair. The voice was like thunder, and it directly drowned out Yun Tiankong's voice. There are so many people here? What are they doing? Are they holding a blind date? How can I miss out on this? There was a burst of laughter. In the blink of an eye, a white shadow flashed and landed on the stage. Everyone looked towards the martial arts arena. The person who had arrived was dressed in a white suit and had a head of elegant hair. His body was tall and sturdy, and his aura was surging and collapsing. However, his appearance seemed a little ordinary. Many people looked at him several times, but could not remember his appearance. Teacher Qiao Feng? You're here! Yun Xiao had already regained his senses and walked to Qin Feng's side in surprise. You're really here? I thought you weren't coming! Yun Zhe also did not expect Qiao Feng to come, but Yun Zhe did not know Qiao Feng, and even mistakenly thought that Qiao Feng had appeared here because he coveted his sister's beauty. Yun Zhe stood beside his sister with a cold face, constantly on guard against Qiao Feng doing anything improper. Ha ha! Beauty Yun Xiao, I promised you that I would come, so I will naturally come. Are you holding a blind date? Beauty Yunxiao wants to go on a blind date? Then choose me. I'm more practical than those gigolos. Qin Feng knew that the Yun family was holding a martial meet, but he deliberately teased Yun Xiao. Yun Zhao's original excitement immediately dissipated. She puffed up her cheeks and glared at Qin Feng. Teacher Qiao Feng, don't talk nonsense. I still have to thank you for coming to help this time. However, today's martial meet has already been settled. My little brother has no more hope. Yun Xiao and Yun Zhe did not know what Qiao Feng was capable of. They only knew that Qiao Feng was a teacher at the capital university. How capable could a teacher be? Hence, when Yun Xiao saw that Qiao Feng had come, he did not hold much hope in his heart. However, 3 of the 5 people standing beside Yun Zhe were dumbfounded. Qiao Feng is here? It was actually Qiao Feng. Even Yun Zhe himself was shocked. He had just been abused by Qiao Feng in the soaring cloud manner not long ago. Why did Qiao Feng suddenly come? Before I came, everything was settled. Now that I'm here, I'm going to help you guys turn the tables. Don't look down on me, those little bastards are all very afraid of me. Qin Feng wasn't boasting this time. What he said was the truth. Lu Shu and Yang Qin were Qin Feng's underlings. Yun Fan had just been bullied by Qin Feng not long ago, and Song Changxing didn't dare to act rashly in front of Qin Feng. As for the remaining people from the Flame sect and the Quick Blade sect, Qin Feng didn't even bother to look at them. Even their sect leaders had to curry favor with Hero Green Wolf. However, Qin Feng did not expect that Yun Fan was actually a member of the Yun family in the capital and was also Yun Zhe's strongest competitor. What was even more unexpected was that the Yun family's old patriarch was actually senior by Yun. Fate was truly a wonderful thing. It was rare for Qin Feng to speak the truth, but in the end, both Yun Xiao and Yun Zhe felt that Qiao Feng was bragging to the heavens. The people that Yun Fan had invited were all important figures in the capital, but Qiao Feng had called them trash the moment he arrived. Yun Xiao and Yun Zhe even began to suspect that Qiao Feng did not even know those people, right? Teacher Qiao Feng, my brother and I appreciate your good intentions. We don't need your help here, you should go back first. Yun Xiao could not stand Qiao Feng. This person was too exaggerated, bragging was as carefree as breathing. It was rare for Qin Feng to speak the truth, but in the end, he was questioned by Yun Xiao. He was very depressed in his heart. Beauty Yun Xiao, I can't leave now. I still have to help little brother Yun Zhe get the position of the young patriarch. Don't worry, there are 2 of my lackeys among those people. I will definitely help little brother Yun Zhe turn the tables. Because Qiao Feng had really come to help, Yun Xiao was still somewhat grateful to Qiao Feng. However, Qiao Feng's repeated bragging made Yun Xiao unable to bear it. She said with a cold face, You said that there are 2 of your lackeys over there? Then point them out for me to see. Qin Feng pointed at the willow tree and Yang Qian. It's those 2 idiots. AI, don't tell anyone else about this. I'll feel embarrassed if I say that I took in 2 idiot lackeys like that. Yun Xiao looked at the 2 people Qin Feng pointed at and rolled her eyes. She was so angry that she almost fainted. That's enough. Hurry up and leave. I don't want to talk to a liar like you. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He was angered by Yun Xiao. He yelled at the willow tree and Yang Qian. You 2 little bastards, are you pretending that you don't know me when you see me? Do you believe that I won't call the seniors right now? It's time for someone else to take your seats? Qin Feng's roar was like thunder, and it echoed throughout the empty training field. Everyone looked at Qin Feng as if they were looking at an idiot. Liang, you ate the wrong medicine earlier. It seemed like this person ran out without taking any medicine. He must have just escaped from the mental hospital. Haha. Where did Yun Zhe's family find this idiot? Why is he so funny? I think the circus found him. He said young Master Lu and young Master Yang are his lackeys? Why doesn't he say that even Dragon Sex Vice Group leader Song has to listen to him? The crowd was full of mockery. Everyone was truly amused by Qin Feng. Yun Tao was already rolling back and forth with laughter. He laughed until tears came out. However, all the laughter suddenly stopped, and the smiles froze on everyone's faces. Under everyone's gaze, Lu Shu and Yan Qin were like children who had done something wrong. They no longer had the arrogance of the capitals for young masters. They walked directly to Qin Feng's side, lowered their heads, and started to call Qin Feng Big Brother. Hee, so it's Big Brother Qiao Feng. I didn't recognize you earlier. I haven't seen you for a few days, and Big Brother Qiao has become even more handsome. Big Brother Qiao. Lu Shu smiled until his eyes became slits. He said all sorts of flattering words to flatter Qiao Feng. Yan Qin looked a bit unwilling, but he still called Qin Feng Big Brother. The surroundings suddenly became quiet. The air froze, and only the whistling of the wind could be heard. Yun Tiankong, who was sitting steadily on the stone lion chair, trembled. He didn't know Qiao Feng, but Lu Shu and Yan Qin called Qiao Feng Big Brother. Where did this strong man come from? Qin Feng ignored everyone's shocked gazes. He took out 2 10-cent bills from nowhere and threw one to Lu Shu and Yan Qin. Not bad, not bad. Since the lackey's called Big Brother naturally has to give you a red packet. Take this money and spend it as you like. Think of the extra as a tip from Big Brother. Lu Shu took the 10-cent bills. He was so angry that the fat on his face trembled. However, he quickly regained his composure. He squinted his small eyes and said with a smile, Hee. Thank you, Big Brother Qiao. Yan Qin was so angry that his teeth were chattering. However, he didn't dare to resist. The scene of Ouyang Feng beating up Zilong in the soaring cloud mansion was too shocking. Even now, the two of them still had a shadow in their hearts. Thank you, Big Brother. Lu Shu and Yan Qin were teased by Qin Feng, but they still had to thank him. This scene shocked everyone again. By the way, why are you two here? After Qin Feng tipped them, his expression suddenly turned cold. Yan Qin and Lu Shu were scared to death. Lu Shu hurriedly said, Big Brother Qiao, we're here to help little brother Yun Zhe fight for the position of junior patriarch. Yes. Me too. Yan Qin echoed. I see. Then you guys seem to be on the wrong side. That side is my little brother Yun Zhe's home field. Qin Feng said as he pointed to Yun Zhe's side. Lu Shu and Yan Qin immediately ran to Liang Yu's side. They were even more determined to turn against Qiao Feng than Luo Bin because they didn't dare to offend Qiao Feng. They were mainly afraid of the old monster behind Qiao Feng, who beat up Zilong. After Lu Shu and Yan Qin turned against him, Qin Feng didn't even bother to look at them. With a leap, Qin Feng arrived at Yun Zhe's side. Isn't this the little brat from the Luo family? Why are you standing here? Qin Feng glared at Luo Bin. Luo Bin finally came back to his senses. He was a little confused after going back and forth today. Luo Bin didn't see Qiao Feng's battle at the Soaring Cloud Mansion. At that time, he was knocked out by Liang Yu and sent away in advance. However, when he attended the Pretty Girls concert at Provincial Capital University, Luo Bin still wanted to show off in front of Qiao Feng and was beaten up. After that, he asked about the situation and now knew that Qiao Feng had a big backer who could beat up Zilong. Huh. So this isn't little brother Yun Zhe's team? Why are you looking at me like that? I'm here to support little brother Yun Zhe. Who wants to stand with that idiot Yun Fan? Luo Bin originally came to support Yun Zhe, but he was threatened by Lu Shu and Yan Qin to turn against him. Luo Bin had been suppressing his anger for a long time. Now that he had Qiao Feng as his backer, Luo Bin directly rebuked Yun Fan. He was so angry that smoke was coming out of Yun Fan's head. In less than 5 minutes after Qiao Feng went on stage, he pulled Lu Shu, Yan Qin, and Luo Bin to Yun Zhe's side. The Yun family was dumbfounded and didn't know what to say. Chapter 700. Qiao Feng, what the fuck do you mean? Are you looking for trouble? Yun Fan couldn't hold it in any longer, and yelled at Qin Feng. Qin Feng punched Yun Fan into the wall at the Soaring Cloud Mansion last time, so Yun Fan was still very afraid of Qiao Feng. Otherwise, he would have made a move long ago. How do you know I'm looking for trouble? Huh? You saw through it? Yeah, I'm looking for trouble. What can you do? Qin Feng looked at Yun Fan with a smile. Yun Fan rolled his eyes and almost fainted from anger. Xiao Feng, don't think that I'm really afraid of you just because you're a little stronger. In this society, it's not about personal strength but connections. Do you see the two young heroes behind me? One of them is an inner disciple of the Flame sect and the other is a disciple of the Quick Blade sect. These two sects are outer martial arts sects with many experts. It's a piece of cake for them to take care of a small character like you. Yun Fan still didn't dare to make a move. He was afraid of being slapped in the face by Xiao Feng, so Yun Fan used the power of the outer martial arts to suppress Xiao Feng. Yun Fan didn't believe that Xiao Feng was so strong that he wasn't even afraid of the outer martial arts sections. Hey! I almost forgot that I have a good relationship with Hero Green Wolf. This time, Hero Green Wolf is busy and can't come, so he asked me to come and support little brother Yunzei. Not long ago, Qin Feng explored the ancient martial ruins as Green Wolf and finally saved the treasures of the explorers of the outer martial arts sections. The name of Hero Green Wolf had completely spread in the outer martial arts world. Now, which martial arts sect didn't want to curry favor with Green Wolf? When Radiance and Sea Breeze heard Hero Green Wolf's name, a look of reverence immediately appeared on their faces. Knowing that Hero Green Wolf was actually on Yunzei's side, Radiance and Sea Breeze immediately turned into two gusts of wind and stood behind Yunzei in a breath's time. Yun Fan was arrogantly threatening Qin Feng, but when he turned his head, he found that the two outer martial arts sect's disciples had disappeared. They actually ran to Yunzei's team. Yun Fan's mouth twitched, and he was so angry that his stomach started to hurt. Qin Feng didn't care about Yun Fan at all. This brat dared to fight with little brother Yunzei for the position of the young master? Qin Feng was prepared to dig out all the forces around him and turn him into a general without an army. Io! Isn't this Dragon Gate's Xian Group's deputy team leader Song? I've long heard that deputy team leader Song's strength is superb. Since I'm fortunate to see you today, then I must have a good spar with deputy team leader Song. Deputy team leader Song, come, life or death is up to fate. As Qin Feng spoke, he had already prepared his stance. He looked as if he was ready to fight Song Changxing at any time. The Yun family had long been confused by Qin Feng's nonsense. They felt that this year's family martial meet was a bit special. It was like watching a big movie with ups and downs and a novel plot. Song Changxing's old face fell, almost as long as a donkey's face. Song Changxing knew Xiao Feng's other identity. Xiao Feng was Green Wolf. Green Wolf was recognized as a Stage 9 inner chi expert in the martial arts world. Song Changxing wasn't sure if he could defeat Xiao Feng. Cough cough. Brother Xiao Feng, you must be joking. We are all members of the Dragon's Gate. How can we casually fight? This will have a bad effect on us. Alright, I still have official business to attend to. I'll make a move first. You guys continue. Song Changxing left as soon as he said that. After a few leaps, his figure disappeared. Song Changxing knew that Xiao Feng was here to support Yunzei. He could either stay and fight with Xiao Feng or withdraw from the ranks of Yun Fan's supporters. Obviously, Song Changxing chose to leave without hesitation. Song Changxing left. His departure was so sudden. He was the one with the most powerful background in the cheering group invited by Yun Fan. In the end, such a big shot was scared away by a few words from Xiao Feng. Who exactly was this Xiao Feng? The Yun family already felt that something was wrong. The discussions about Xiao Feng were endless. Yun Fan gritted his teeth in anger. He was about to take the position of the Yun family's young patriarch, but who knew that Xiao Feng would appear out of nowhere and completely mess up his plan? At this time, one of the 5 major powers that Yun Fan invited to the stage ran away. The other 4 directly jumped into the water and stood with Yunzei's team. This scene was too dramatic. Many people couldn't help but laugh. Brother Yun Fan, why are all your backers gone? If that's all you've got, then I've come for nothing. You're not enough for me to play with. Qin Feng looked at Yun Fan with a smile. Qin Feng was going to return the favor to Yun Fan, who looked down on Yun Zhe. Yun Zhe and Yun Xiao still hadn't come back to their senses. They felt like they were dreaming. They weren't familiar with Lian Yu, but Lian Yu supported the two of them. They had only met Xiao Feng once. Yun Xiao even thought that Xiao Feng wouldn't come. In the end, Xiao Feng showed up and slapped Yun Fan in the face. That feeling was too exciting. Xiao Feng, you're the one who insisted on going against me. I'll play with you to the end. Yun Fan was completely enraged. He still had more than 10 minor powers below the stage. Previously, Yun Fan looked down on Yun Zhe, so he didn't intend to invite these minor powers to the stage. Now that the situation had changed, Yun Fan had no choice but to invite them. Yun Fan shouted loudly, and the dozen or so major powers below the stage rushed up. I'm Gao Fei, a third-generation relative of the Gao family, one of the 5 minor families in Beijing. I'm here to support Brother Yun Fan. A man in a black suit announced his name first. Qin Feng curled his lips. Why isn't Gao Tianyao from the Gao family here? I haven't beaten him up in a long time. I really miss him. Big brother, I'm sorry. I came to the wrong place. I'll be leaving first. After Gao Fei came up and announced his name, he was scared away by Qin Feng's words. I'm Lu Hai, a disciple of the Lu family, one of the 5 minor families in Beijing. I'm here to help Big Brother Yun Zhe. You damn fatty, you're as fat as Lu Jie. Seeing that Lu Jie is my little brother, I'll tolerate you this once. If you dare to talk nonsense again, I'll slap you until you're as elegant as Lu Hai. Lu Hai was also scared away by Qin Feng's words. I'm a disciple of the Chen family in Sky City, Yun Province. Which Chen family? I've never heard of it. Qin Feng thought about it. He really couldn't remember any Chen family in Sky City. It was probably a small, unranked family. Holy shit, you haven't even heard of the Chen family? I've heard of the 4 talents of Sky City. They're all my little brothers. I'll call them now and ask which Chen family you're from. Before Qin Feng could take out his phone, the Chen family disciple who had been clamoring just now had already disappeared. The remaining 10 or so small forces all reported their names and were scared witless by Qin Feng's words. After a while, all the forces that Yun Fan had found disappeared. No, he still had 4 large forces that were standing with Yun Zhe's team. Yun Fan was so angry that his eyes were bloodshot and the veins on his forehead bulged. He had waited for this day of the family martial arts meet for God knows how long. This day was prepared for him to show off. In the end, because of Xiao Feng's sudden appearance, Yun Fan's plans were all messed up. Yun Fan stood alone on the martial arts field. Everyone from the Yun family was so shocked that they were speechless. Yun Fan felt a burning pain on his face. It was the feeling of being slapped by Qin Feng. Motherfucker, you deliberately came to play with me? I'll fight you to the death. Suddenly, an angry roar came from the training field. Yun Fan had been enduring Qin Feng for a long time. At this moment, he could no longer hold it in and directly exploded. Yun Fan's stage 8 energy burst out. He was the most powerful expert among the younger generation of the Yun family. Even more than half of the elders of the Yun family were no match for Yun Fan's strength. The aura of a stage 8 energy burst out from Qin Feng's body, suffocating the audience. They stared at Qin Feng without blinking. They didn't know how strong Qin Feng was, but most of them thought that Yun Fan was going to crush Qin Feng. Rumble! A loud sound spread out, and another overbearing aura rolled out, causing the ground to tremble slightly. A layer of dust rolled up on the training field, making it difficult for people to see what was going on. A scream came from the dust, but it didn't sound like Xiao Feng's voice. Bang! Another muffled sound, as if someone had fallen to the ground. The dust quickly dispersed. Xiao Feng stood tall and straight with his hands behind his back. Yun Fan had fallen on the cement ground dozens of meters away. There was a small pit on the ground. Yun Fan spat out a mouthful of blood, and his body kept twitching as if he was going to die at any time. No one saw the whole process of the fight because it ended in an instant. It was like a fight that ended before it even started. The surrounding temperature was already low, and now it seemed like it was going to freeze. The power and intimidation that Xiao Feng brought to everyone was too strong. Even Yun Kongtian's skinny body was slightly trembling. He hadn't made a sound, and he didn't go up to the stage to teach Xiao Feng the lesson. The people of the Yun family finally came to their senses. Qin Feng was arrogant and overbearing. He didn't take the 4 young masters of the capital seriously, and he didn't even say a word to Vice Team Leader Song of the Dragon Sect. Everyone thought that Xiao Feng was showing off, and they even guessed that Xiao Feng would die miserably. However, Xiao Feng didn't fall, and it was Yun Fan who fell. It turned out that Xiao Feng really had the ability to be powerful. He wasn't bragging. Xiao Feng's background was mysterious, and he was unbeatable. He stood on the martial arts field and looked down on the people of the Yun family. No one dared to mock or question him anymore. More than half of the Yun family didn't even have the courage to look Xiao Feng in the eye. The atmosphere was deadlocked for more than half a minute before someone finally came to their senses. Those relatives who were originally surrounding Yun Tao immediately ran towards Yun Zhao's parents. Before Yun Zhao's parents could come back to their senses, dozens of relatives appeared and started to flatter them. Life was unpredictable and full of ups and downs. No one knew what would happen in the next second, and no one could guess that the final winner would be Yun Zhe. The people of the Yun family all had eyes for power. After the situation changed, they quickly made a new choice. No one went to curry favor with Yun Tao anymore. Everyone was actually quite resentful towards Yun Tao's family, especially Yun Fan's arrogance and conceit. It had already aroused a lot of resentment. The change was too fast. It was so fast that Yun Tao couldn't accept it. From the high and mighty father of the young patriarch, he instantly fell to a villain who was ostracized by the people of the Yun family. Yun Zhe also hadn't recovered from the shock. He couldn't believe that he could actually counterattack and become the man most likely to be elected as the young patriarch. The ups and downs of life came too fast. It was too exciting. Chapter 701. Who are you? How dare you hurt someone in the Yun family martial arts competition? If you don't give me a reasonable explanation, I won't forgive you. Yun Tiakong was shocked for a long time. Then, the old and majestic voice sounded. Ha! Calm. There were bursts of explosive sounds coming from his body. The strong and violent inner chi was unstoppable. The entire empty martial arts field was shrouded by the inner chi in the sky. Qin Feng was afraid that Yun Tiakong would step forward, but the old man couldn't help but step forward. Qin Feng didn't know that the Yun family's patriarch was senior by Yun until he came to the training field of the Yun family. Last time in the ancient warrior relic, Bai Yun stood up to Azure Dragon of China. Although Bai Yun didn't attack, Qin Feng couldn't see his real strength. Obviously, he was a stage 9 inner chi master. Senior Yun, I'm Xiao Feng, a member of the Dragon Sex Huang group. Today, I'm here to help brother Yun Zhe become the next patriarch. Qin Feng didn't want to fight with Yun Tiakong. Firstly, Yun Tiakong was too powerful. Qin Feng couldn't defeat him without Ouyang Feng or Shimenchui Xue. Secondly, Qin Feng had a good impression of Yun Tiakong, who was Yun Zhao's grandfather. How could Qin Feng offend him? Hearing Qin Feng's words, the people of the Yun family exclaimed. They didn't expect Xiao Feng to be a member of the Dragon sect. No wonder he was so overbearing. Yun Tiankong's expression changed. He glared at Qin Feng for a while and said, I have nothing to say about you coming to help Yun Zhe. But why did you hurt Yun Fan? You're challenging this old man's dignity. Even Qin Fan could see that Yun Kongtian was indeed more considerate towards Yun Fan and Yun Ping, his 2 direct descendants. However, this was also common sense. Senior Yun Fan attacked me first. I couldn't just stand there and let him hit me, right? I didn't attack him. I was just defending myself. Qin Feng's face was solemn as if he was telling the truth. The people of the Yun family twitched their mouths. His lie was too fake. Yun Fan was a stage 8 energy master. How could Qin Feng hit him so hard that he couldn't even stand up? Yun Tiankong was speechless. He was so angry that he glared at Qin Feng. Actually, Yun Kong Tian was also afraid of Qiao Feng. Not only was Qiao Feng a member of the dragon sect, but he also seemed to be at stage 9 inner qi. Yun Kong Tian didn't dare to attack such an expert. The atmosphere was in a deadlock. At this time, several black shadows suddenly flew over from the sky, and after a few breaths, several people landed on the huge martial arts field. Bam! The first to land was a huge fatty. His body was like a small mountain. After he landed, the martial arts field shook a bit. Lu Jie steadied himself and immediately walked toward Qin Feng with a smile on his face. He chuckled and said, "Kaka. Teacher Qiao Feng, I'm not late, right? When I heard that you were going to show off at the blind date today, I skipped lunch and rushed over to support you." Lu Jie had a carefree personality and was born with a loud voice. Qin Feng was obviously here to participate in the Yun family's martial arts meet, but Lu Jie's words exposed Qin Feng's intention. Qin Feng was so angry that he kicked Lu Jie and flipped him over. "Cut the crap and get to the point." Lu Jie's butt hurt from the fall. He quickly climbed up from the ground and continued, "Hee, Teacher Qiao Feng, don't be angry. I'll get to the point, get to the point. That beauty Yun Xiao, Teacher Qiao Feng specially came to the Yun family to flirt with you. He even asked me to come." Bam! Before Lu Jie finished his words, he was kicked away again. "Who told you it's a family's martial arts meet? It's a blind date." Qin Feng was furious. He felt that the glorious and righteous image that he had built up for half a day was destroyed by Lu Jie's loud voice. He was so angry that he even said the wrong thing. "Yes, it's a blind date. I didn't say it's a family's martial arts meet. Teacher Qiao Feng is so busy that he doesn't have time to participate in some family's martial arts meet. You've never done business without girls." After Lu Jie finished his words, he saw that Qiao Feng was about to kick him again. Lu Jie was so scared that he quickly added, "Elders of the Yun family, I'm Lu Jie, the eldest grandson of the Lu family, one of the 5 small families in the provincial capital. I'm here to support Brother Yunzhe." Lu Jie finally said something human. Qin Feng's foot that was already at the tip of Lu Jie's nose did not fall. Lu Jie wiped the sweat off his forehead. At this time, another person landed on the empty training field. It was a man in a well-ironed suit, but he looked a little wretched. "I'm Zhang Yi, a member of the Dragon Sect Huang group. I'm here to support Brother Yunzhe on behalf of all the brothers and 2 leaders of the Dragon Sect Huang group." After Zhang Yi announced his identity, he immediately ran to Qiao Feng to greet him. He recognized Qiao Feng as his big brother during the celebration banquet at the Soaring Cloud Mansion. At that time, Qiao Feng gave him a qi-fortifying pill. In just 3 days, Zhang Yi had successfully broken through from stage 6 inner qi to stage 7 inner qi. He was extremely grateful to Qiao Feng. Just as Zhang Yi finished speaking, another woman's beautiful figure landed on the training field. Her voice was clear and melodious. "I have come to the Yun family to support Yunzhe and support young Master Yunzhe's election for the position of young patriarch. The woman should be Rin Xiaoyao's subordinate." After reporting, she found a place where no one was around and stood at the side. On the empty training field, a steady stream of figures flashed over. Each of them represented a powerful force, scaring the Yun family to the point that their eyeballs almost popped out. "Dongfang Haoran of the Dongfang family has come to support Yunzhe. Qiao Shi represents all the students of the Provincial University's Medical College to support Yunzhe. The Beautiful Girl Group has come to support Yunzhe. I'm here to support Brother Yunzhe on behalf of the elegant and unrestrained hero Green Wolf." These forces were all called over by Qin Feng. They were of different sizes and levels. There was Hero Green Wolf, who represented the martial arts world with a resounding reputation. There were also the leaders of the 4 big families and 5 small families in the capital. There were also celebrities like the Pretty Girl Group, big shots in the entertainment industry. Even the representatives of the first class of the medical school of the capital had come. This kind of lineup really blinded the eyes of the Yun family. In the beginning, the Yun family's relatives all thought that Yunzei's family didn't have any connections or power, but in the end, this family had roped in all sorts of people from all walks of life in the capital. If Yun Fan had been forcefully acting cool before, then Yunzei was the true expert in the world of acting cool. Yun Kongtian was still thinking about how to deal with Qin Feng and how to calm the emotions of the Yun family. Now that so many forces had suddenly appeared to support Yunzei, Yun Kongtian had forgotten about Xiao Feng. Among these forces, the one that shocked Yun Kongtian the most was the great hero Green Wolf. Yun Kongtian knew Green Wolf. Last time, in the ancient martial ruins, Green Wolf's true energy exploded, scaring the mysterious black-clothed man to the point that he didn't dare to make a move. There were also various forces who went on stage to express their support for Yunzei. The empty martial arts field was like a big chorus. Yun Kongtian finally saw the reality. He was originally optimistic about Yun Fan becoming the new young master, but Yunzei's strength made Yun Kongtian feel a little scared. 10 minutes later, the forces that came to support finally stopped. It had been a long time since he saw a new force appear. There were 3 rows of people standing on the martial arts field. There were representatives from all walks of life. It was simply a gathering of elites. Senior Yun, I've helped Brother Yunzei call so many people. Do you like them? Qin Feng smiled and looked at Yun Kongtian on the high platform. Yun Kongtian was very puzzled. Based on Xiao Feng's methods in dealing with Lu Shu, Yang Kan, and Yun Fan, Xiao Feng was obviously a strong and domineering person. Moreover, with Xiao Feng's skills and power, he didn't need to be afraid of Yun Kongtian at all. However, Xiao Feng had called himself a junior and respected Yun Kongtian very much. This made Yun Kongtian unable to understand the reason. That's right. Yun Kongtian only managed to say 2 words after a long time because he didn't know what to say. Then Senior Yun means that you want Yunzei to be the new young master? Qin Feng continued to ask. Yun Kongtian had already decided to let Yunzei be the new young master. This was because Xiao Feng's power was too strong. If Yunzei became the young master, then the Yun family would definitely develop with Xiao Feng's help in the future. Even if Yun Kongtian was a little selfish, he still put the overall situation first. The overall situation was the Yun family's development and survival. Dear relatives of the Yun family, I, Yun Kongtian, now announce that the new young master of the Yun family will be Yunzei. Yun Kongtian's old and deep voice resounded in the martial arts field for a long time. This time, the Yun family's martial arts competition had also come to an end. The new patriarch was won by Yunzei, whom everyone didn't think would win. After Yun Kongtian's voice fell, everyone in the Yun family was still in a daze. Yunzei and Yun Xiao were also in a daze. Although the 2 of them realized that the situation had changed after Xiao Feng appeared, when their grandfather announced the final result, the 2 of them were overwhelmed with joy and their minds went blank. The relatives of Yunzei quickly came back to their senses. Those relatives who surrounded Yunzei's parents started to curry favor with them like crazy. Yunzei's parents were frightened by everyone's enthusiasm and flattery. They weren't prepared. Qin Feng was happy for Yunzei when he got this result. He was currently chatting with Lu Jie, Qiao Shi, and other acquaintances. Qin Feng hadn't seen Qiao Shi for a while. 2 out of 3 sentences he would tease Qiao Shi. Qiao Shi's feelings towards Qiao Feng were very complicated. If other men said these frivolous words to her, Qiao Shi would have left long ago. But after hearing Qiao Feng's words, Qiao Shi's heart was left with waves of shyness. Seeing that teacher Qiao Feng had started to pick up girls again, Lu Jie tactfully bid farewell to Qiao Feng and left. The beautiful girl group also said goodbye to Qiao Feng and left. Zhang Kuku once again forgot about Qiao Feng's appearance. This made Qiao Feng feel as if his heart was stabbed by someone. The little beauty from St. Medic Hall had also left. Shan Ye had also left after trying to flatter Qiao Feng a few times. These forces that had come specifically for Qiao Feng had come and gone quickly. The empty training grounds once again became cold and empty. Chapter 702. Most of the people had left, and Qin Feng became even more unscrupulous. Previously, he was only teasing Xiao Shishir, but now, he started to get physical. Xiao Shishir was so embarrassed that her ears turned red. She was frightened by teacher Xiao Feng and quickly found an excuse to run away. Now all the people that Xiao Feng called had left, leaving only him and Yun Xiao and his brother standing on the training field. The Yun family was still trying to curry favor with Yun Zhao's parents. Yun Tao stood dejectedly at the side and was treated like air. Yun Fan was obviously forgotten. He was still stuck in the ground and couldn't get up. From time to time, he would spit out a mouthful of blood. Seeing Yun Zhe obtain the position of the young patriarch, Yun Fan was about to die from anger. Yun Tiankong stood on the stone lion chair and lightly tapped his feet. His figure turned into a black shadow and arrived beside Yun Zhe in a few breaths. "Grandfather!" Yun Zhe hurriedly bowed to Yun Tiankong. Yun Tiankong helped Yun Zhe up and said with a dignified expression, "Yun Zhe, you have become the new young patriarch of the Yun family. I pass this golden belt to you. I hope that under your leadership, the Yun family will be able to move towards a broader sky and achieve glory." Yun Zhe's hands trembled as he received the golden belt. This golden belt was the Yun family's heirloom. Every time a new patriarch appeared, the golden belt would be passed down. It was said that the golden belt was a purple-grade spirit weapon. It was made from the tendons and bones of a 1,000-year divine turtle. The golden belt had the effect of extending one's lifespan, and could even protect oneself after wearing it. It was an extremely rare and precious treasure. "Grandfather, don't worry. I will definitely work harder in the future and bring the Yun family to a broader sky." Yun Zhe held up the belt, his eyes shining with determination. The Yun family members below the stage all looked at Yun Zhe and shouted in unison, "Young Patriarch Yun Zhe is mighty!" At this moment, Yun Zhe turned from an ignorant youth to the leader of a huge family. Yun Zhe shouldered an invisible but huge responsibility, and his aura underwent a subtle change. His young and handsome face had a hint of determination and dignity, and his eyes also had a hint of maturity and steadiness. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for completing the quest. Help Yun Zhao's little brother Yun Zhe become the young patriarch of the Yun family. The system rewards host Qin Feng 5,000 hedonist points. Host currently has a total of 43,000 hedonist points. The clan martial competition could be considered to have ended here. Everyone from the Yun family had already run up to the training grounds. They surrounded Yun Zhe and tried to curry favor with him, as if they were not the ones who looked down on Yun Zhe previously. Yun Tiankong did not like crowds, so he retreated to the side. Qin Feng also walked out of the crowd and stood beside Yun Tiankong. "Senior Yun, I have something to discuss with you." Yu Tiankong Tian was very curious about Xiao Feng. Xiao Feng looked like he was in his early 20s, but his inner qi was as strong as a stage 9 inner qi master. Moreover, Xiao Feng was a member of the dragon sect and had countless forces behind him. Yun Kongtian had never heard of such a powerful young hero before. "Young swordsman Xiao Feng, there's no harm in speaking your mind. Senior Yun, it's not a big deal. I've taken a fancy to your Yun Xiao, so I came to find Senior Yun to arrange a marriage," Qin Feng explained. Yun Kongtian's expression changed slightly. He finally understood the reason why Xiao Feng came to support Yun Zhe. After all this time, this person had taken a fancy to Yun Zhao's beauty. If it was before, Yun Kongtian would immediately agree to Xiao Feng's request because Xiao Feng's strength and background were there. Yun Kongtian would be very happy to have such a powerful person marry into the Yun family. But now, Yun Zhe was the young master of the Yun family, and Yun Xiao was Yun Zhe's elder sister. Now that Yun Zhao's status had risen, it was not good for Yun Kongtian to arrange Yun Zhao's marriage without permission. "Young swordsman Xiao Feng, I can't decide this matter. Have you known Yun Xiao for a long time?" Yun Kongtian had a helpless and regretful expression. He still hoped that Xiao Feng and Yun Xiao would be together. Qin Feng said seriously, We have known each other for a long time, and our relationship is not ordinary. Yun Xiao and I are willing to be together. She has liked me for a long time." Yun Kongtian's expression became happy and he quickly said, "Oh? So it's like this. If that's the case, then it's much easier. I'll decide this marriage and betroth Yun Xiao to you." Yun Kongtian immediately decided on this marriage, and Qin Feng was also happy. He shouted to Yun Xiao, who was in the crowd, "Beauty Yun Xiao, come here for a moment. Senior Yun wants to talk to you." Yun Xiao was very happy that her brother had won the position of patriarch. Because she was in a good mood, her attitude towards Xiao Feng was much better. She actually ran over with a bright smile on her face. "Grandpa, teacher Xiao Feng!" Yun Xiao came over and greeted the two of them. Then, she looked at Yun Kongtian and said, "Grandpa, why are you looking for me?" Yun Kongtian had a kind smile on his face. In fact, he quite liked Yun Xiao. This girl was beautiful, obedient, and independent. She could be considered the most outstanding among the younger generation of the Yun family. "Yun Xiao, since you and young swordsman Xiao Feng have long been in love, then Grandpa will betroth you to Xiao Feng now. Your marriage has been decided. As for when you will get married, it's up to you to choose a good day." Yun Kongtian's mood became better and better. Being able to know a strong expert like Xiao Feng was very important to the future development of the Yun family. Qin Feng was very happy when he heard Yun Kongtian's words. Yun Xiao was stunned on the spot. She even thought that there was something wrong with her ears. After a long time, Yun Xiao asked in astonishment, "Ah? Grandpa, I'm engaged to Xiao Feng? Why? This is only the second time I've met him. How can we be in love?" Yun Xiao confused Yun Kongtian again. Yun Kongtian looked at Qin Feng in astonishment. When he saw Qin Feng's awkward expression, Yun Kongtian suddenly understood. "Ahem. Yun Xiao, Grandpa thinks that young swordsman Xiao Feng is an upright person and has great martial arts skills. He's one of the best among the younger generation in Jingdu City. It won't be wrong for you to be with him." Yun Kongtian guessed that Xiao Feng was just bragging. However, Yun Kongtian quickly came back to his senses. Since he had already mentioned marriage, he might as well continue to matchmake Yun Xiao and Xiao Feng. Yun Kongtian really thought highly of Xiao Feng. "Ah? Grandpa. Then okay. I'll try to date Xiao Feng first. If it doesn't work, then we'll talk about it again." Yun Xiao felt wrong. She had no feelings for Xiao Feng at all. Her heart was filled with Qin Feng's shadow. However, now that Yun Zhe had just become the young master, Yun Xiao couldn't go against her grandpa's words. She was deeply afraid that it would bring harm to Yun Zhe's future development. Hee. Beauty Yun Xiao has agreed. Then you'll be my fiancé from now on. As for that little bastard Luo Bin from the Luo family, don't bother with him anymore. If that brat dares to harass you, I'll directly destroy the Luo family." Qin Feng had long wanted to come to the Yun family to propose marriage and make Yun Xiao completely his. However, at that time, Qin Feng's strength was too low. He had the will but not the strength. Now that Qin Feng had broken through to stage 8 inner Qi, he could use all kinds of skills and spiritual weapons to fight against stage 9 inner Qi experts. Qin Feng had already become one of the best among the younger generation in Jingdu City. He could finally stand in the Yun family and look down on all the heroes. This kind of feeling was not an ordinary kind of pleasure. "Okay, I won't casually come into contact with other men in the future." Yun Xiao braced herself and agreed. Suddenly, she was a little embarrassed to look at Xiao Feng. It wasn't that she liked Xiao Feng, but she felt strange. "Beauty Yun Xiao, since you're my fiancé, let's find a place with no one around and get to know each other." Qin Feng went up and grabbed Yun Xiao's lily-white hand. Yun Xiao was so scared that she took a step back. "Ah? Forget it. My younger brother just won the position of the young master. I'll just stay here and celebrate with him." Yun Xiao wanted to break free from Xiao Feng's big hand, but she found that Xiao Feng's hand was like a vice. She couldn't shake it off no matter how hard she tried. Senior Yun, what do you think? Qin Feng was rejected by Yun Xiao, but he was not worried at all. His gaze fell on Yun Tiankong. Yun Tiankong stroked his white beard and said with a smile, Since you're already engaged, you'll be a family sooner or later. It's a good thing to cultivate your relationship. By the way, young hero Xiao Feng, this should be your first time visiting the Yun family, right? This is my first time. I really want to tour the Yun family, Qin Feng said with a smile. Ha ha! Yun Xiao, why don't you take young hero Xiao Feng for a tour? I'll stay here. Qin Feng and Yun Tiankong were obviously echoing each other. Yun Xiao was depressed. Since Yun Tiankong had spoken, even if Yun Xiao was very unwilling, she could only nod and agree. The two of them left the martial arts field and walked to a place with no one around. Yun Xiao's hand was held by Qin Feng the whole way. She eventually gave up struggling because she really couldn't break free. Yun Xiao lowered her head and didn't speak. Qin Feng took the initiative to flirt with her, but she was absent-minded and responded to Qin Feng intermittently. Qin Feng didn't care about Yun Xiao's indifference because he knew that Yun Xiao was like this because she didn't know his identity. Qin Feng admired the scenery of the Yun family along the way. The Yun family mansion was really big. Qin Feng had walked for more than 20 minutes, but he had only seen less than half of the courtyard. The two of them unknowingly walked into the depths of a garden. There was no one around and it was very secluded. There was a beautiful swing chair in the garden. Qin Feng pulled Yun Xiao over and sat down. Teacher Xiao Feng, I actually don't have any feelings for you. I agreed to the marriage just to deal with my grandfather. There are actually many beautiful women in the capital. They are all prettier and more outstanding than me. Why don't you find another woman? If you can't find one, I can introduce you. Just let me go. Seeing that there was no one around, Yun Xiao let go. She struggled to pull her hand away and then sat on the swing chair while maintaining a safe distance from Qin Feng. Qin Feng smiled and pulled Yun Xiao into his arms. Yun Xiao was so frightened that she resisted frantically. In the end, she couldn't break free from Qin Feng's embrace. The more she resisted, the more Qin Feng took advantage of her. Qin Feng smelled the familiar fragrance on Yun Xiao's body and touched her white and tender skin. His heart was filled with emotions. More than 5 months ago, Qin Feng had a great battle with Yun Xiao in the bathroom of the Fei Tian bar. Qin Feng could still remember the hot-blooded scene at that time. At that time, Yun Xiao was still Qin Feng's teacher. She drank a little too much that night and turned from a conservative lady to a wild young woman. The taste wasn't just a little delicious. P.S. I'm still 20 votes away. I can explode today. The next chapter is very exciting. Brothers, vote hard. Chapter 703. Yun Xiao was frightened by Qin Feng's actions. She struggled desperately in Qin Feng's arms. Xiao Feng, you bastard! Let go of me! I am going to call for help! The more Yun Xiao resisted, the more excited Qin Feng became. Not only did he not let go, but he also started to caress Yun Xiao's soft body. Qin Feng's nose was stuck to the back of Yun Xiao's ear, and he could smell Yun Xiao's unique body fragrance. His hot breath made Yun Xiao's body soften, and her resistance became weaker and weaker. Xiao Feng! Don't do this! Let go of me! Yun Xiao's voice became soft, and it was as seductive as a kitten's lazy cry. Teacher Yun Xiao, don't resist! Be obedient and obey me today! Qin Feng smirked. Yun Xiao suddenly felt that something was wrong. Xiao Feng's voice changed. It wasn't the same voice as before. His voice suddenly became very familiar, especially when he called Teacher Yun Xiao. It made Yun Xiao's heart tremble. Who are you? Who are you? After Yun Xiao regained her senses, she stopped resisting and looked at Xiao Feng with a puzzled expression. Qin Feng just wanted to tease Yun Xiao. When he saw that Teacher Yun Xiao was frightened by him, he felt sorry for her. Qin Feng moved his mind slightly. The sacred azure battle armor on his body suddenly disappeared, and he instantly returned to his original appearance. It was a handsome face with distinct features. His skin was fair and clear, causing even women to feel jealous of him. He had a dignified appearance, and the space between his brows revealed a wisp of a fierce aura. It was the arrogance of someone in a superior position. Qin Feng still preferred his original appearance. He felt that even words like dashing in the wind and elegant and suave couldn't describe his handsomeness. As for Qiao Feng's appearance, Qin Feng didn't want to comment too much. Even he had forgotten what Qiao Feng looked like. Qin Feng? Is it really you? You're not dead? Are you really Qin Feng? Yun Xiao was stunned for more than half a minute before she regained her senses. After she regained her senses, she stuttered. She was really frightened by Qin Fen. Not long ago, Qin Fen was killed by a strange man with a wolf mask on Devil Beast Mountain. Yun Xiao had watched the video of the fight and thought that Qin Fen was really dead. She never thought that Qin Fen was still alive. Teacher Yun Xiao, do you want me to die that badly? The corners of Qin Feng's mouth twitched, and he looked gloomy. Ah? No, how could that be? I don't want you to die. I thought you were dead. Suddenly seeing Qin Feng, Yun Xiao was so excited that he was incoherent. Qin Feng naturally knew teacher Yun Xiao's feelings for him. He was amused when he saw Yun Xiao's nervous and charming face turn red. She tried her best to explain but couldn't even speak clearly. Ah? Who are you? Why did you become Qiao Feng? Yun Xiao hadn't calmed down from her excitement when she was shocked by Qin Feng again. Qin Feng was now in the Yun family's old residence. For safety's sake, he changed back to Qiao Feng's appearance. This change scared Yun Xiao. Teacher Yun Xiao, don't be so jumpy all the time. I'm Qin Feng, and Qiao Feng is also Qin Feng. However, due to some reasons, I'm temporarily using Qiao Feng's identity. You should understand now, right? Qin Feng hugged Yun Xiao even tighter, then patiently explained to her. The content was too complicated. Yun Xiao was silent for a while before she completely digested it. Qiao Feng is actually Qin Feng? Then why didn't you tell me when I went to Provincial University to watch the concert of the beautiful girls? Yun Xiao had already confirmed that Qin Feng really wasn't dead. She suddenly felt as if a large stone had been lifted from her heart. That feeling was as comfortable as being reborn after death. Teacher Yun Xiao, there were too many people at the time, so I didn't dare to speak carelessly. I was afraid that if my identity was revealed, it would bring you trouble. I have a lot of enemies now, and all of them are famous big sects and big figures. If they knew you were my fiancé, they would come to kidnap you. Qin Feng analyzed the severity of the situation. Yun Xiao listened and nodded repeatedly. She had forgotten how long it had been since she last saw Qin Feng. In reality, it was only a short 5 months, but in Yun Xiao's heart, it was as long as 50 years. Ah? You big bad guy, you pretended to be Qiao Feng to scare me, and you even went to grandfather to propose marriage. You're too bad. Yun Xiao suddenly thought of Qin Feng's engagement. Previously, she didn't know that Qiao Feng was Qin Feng, so Yun Xiao was very resistant to this marriage. Now that she understood the situation, Yun Xiao was actually a little excited. I just wanted to give teacher Yun Xiao a surprise. 5 months ago, when I saw teacher Yun Xiao's lonely figure boarding the plane, I really wanted to shout this out. However, in the end, I only told myself that in the future, I will definitely go to the capital's Yun family, and openly propose marriage to the Yun family's patriarch. I will make teacher Yun Xiao my, Qin Feng's, woman. Qin Feng's gaze became misty. It was as if he had returned to the airport 5 months ago. Yun Xiao's body surged with warmth, and a layer of mist appeared in her beautiful eyes. Yun Xiao raised her head high and forced her tears not to fall. These were tears of happiness. The two of them had been separated for 5 months, and now that they were reunited, Qin Feng made the promise he made. He came to the Yun family and openly proposed marriage to Yun Tiankong. From today onwards, Yun Xiao completely became Qin Feng's woman, and would always be Qin Feng's woman. Qin Feng, do you remember when I first went to the Acropolis city to teach? Yun Xiao was afraid that she was really going to cry, so she changed the topic. Of course I remember. On the first day teacher Yun Xiao came to the Acropolis City University, the entire university was in an uproar. On the afternoon you arrived, the entire university voted you as the most beautiful female teacher. Qin Feng laughed, and a light flickered in the depths of their eyes. It was as if they had returned to the time at the Acropolis University. At that time seemed worthless, and they could have as much as they wanted. Their daily lives were relaxed and carefree, without any pressure or worries. All they had was youth and sweat. Qin Feng's sweat was splattered on the bed. Did you know? When I first went to the Acropolis University, you were the biggest headache. At that time, I had just graduated and didn't have any teaching experience. I was about the same age as you guys, so I couldn't control you naughty fellows. In the end, you broke the order of the class every time. Not only did you cause enough trouble, but you also caused trouble for the other people in the class. It was so infuriating. Every day when I came home from school, the first thing I would do was draw a little person and write your name on it. Then I would take a needle and stab you 100 times. When Yun Xiao talked about her time at the Acropolis University, she couldn't help but smile brilliantly. Perhaps Yun Xiao had been annoyed by Qin Feng back then, but now, all of this had become her most precious and beautiful memory. Yun Xiao could even remember it for the rest of her life. Back then, before Qin Feng obtained the hedonist sovereign system, he was an out-and-out hedonist young master. At that time, he didn't think about Yun Xiao's feelings. Now that he heard Yun Xiao talk about it, Qin Feng felt that he really owed her back then. Qin Feng hugged Yun Xiao even tighter. Yun Xiao was almost out of breath. Teacher Yun Xiao, I didn't just do bad things, I also saved you from Ma Dahu's clutches. After that, Wei Xiaolei kept pestering you, and I was the one who pretended to be your boyfriend to piss him off. That's right, I also killed Wei Xiaolei. Half of the reason was because he kept pestering you. Also, I helped you cure your social anxiety. That night at the Fei Tian bar, I was the one who helped you successfully become a woman. What Qin Feng said at the beginning made Yun Xiao feel very touched. Indeed, Qin Feng helped Yun Xiao a lot. Yun Xiao was very grateful to Qin Feng. However, as Qin Feng spoke, he became indecent. Yun Xiao was so embarrassed that she immediately pounded Qin Feng's chest with her fists. Qin Feng didn't feel any pain. It was as comfortable as giving him a massage. Teacher Yun Xiao! Qin Feng suddenly grabbed Yun Xiao's dainty fists and looked at her affectionately. Yun Xiao's heart raced and her face was so red that water was about to drip out. She sat in Qin Feng's embrace and didn't dare to look at Qin Feng's fiery gaze. What's wrong? It's been 5 months since our last battle. Since we can meet again today, why don't we fight again? Qin Feng said seriously. Yun Xiao buried her head in Qin Feng's embrace. She was extremely embarrassed. Before she could refuse, Qin Feng had already made a move. Yun Xiao wore a black lace dress, which made it easier for Qin Feng to do things. The swing began to slowly swing higher and higher. Yun Xiao didn't know if the swing really floated into the sky or if Qin Feng made her fly into the sky. The swing went from fast to slow, and finally stopped. Yun Xiao's entire body was weak and her entire body fell into Qin Feng's warm embrace. She wanted time to stop at this moment. This feeling was too wonderful. Teacher Yun Xiao, I haven't seen you for so long. You still haven't changed. You're so fucking wild. Qin Feng hugged Yun Xiao's jade back tightly. His face was filled with a longing expression. Yun Xiao was extremely embarrassed and started pounding in Qin Feng's embrace again. Annoying. You're not allowed to say it. The two of them were playing around sweetly when a white figure flashed by. Seeing the scene in front of him, Yunzhe was so angry that his eyes instantly turned red. You bastard, I knew you had ulterior motives towards my sister. You dared to bully my sister? I'll personally kill you today. Yunzhe was originally surrounded by everyone trying to curry favor with him, but after a while, he realized that his sister, and Qiao Feng had disappeared. Yunzei immediately became worried and started to look for his sister and the Yun family. In the end, when he walked to the back garden, he saw the scene in front of him. Yunzei had clearly misunderstood Qin Feng. He thought that Qin Feng was forcing his sister. Bang! A muffled sound came from Yunzei's body. This brat directly exploded his inner qi. With a wave of his hand, the fire rod at his waist flew out and struck towards Qin Feng's head. This fire rod of mine was given to me by a good big brother. It specializes in beating dogs. Yunzei arrived first, and his voice followed. Yunxiao was shocked and immediately cried out, "Little brother, stop!" P.S. Yesterday, there were quite a few brothers who donated monthly votes. The final vote was fixed at 15 votes, a bit short of 30 votes. Young Master Du truly felt that it was a pity, and was moved by these brothers. Chapter 704. Dong! Yunxiao was still a step too slow. Before she could finish speaking, the fiery rod in Yunzei's hand had already slashed down. However, Qin Feng also made a move at this moment. His large hand casually grabbed the air and grabbed the fiery rod. Yunzei was extremely shocked in his heart. That rod strike of his was filled with rage, and he had unreservedly erupted with all of the strength of the peak of the 5th level of his inner qi. He did not expect that his move would be broken so easily by Qin Feng. Furthermore, Yunzei had spent a great deal of effort to pull the fire rod back, but he couldn't. "Qin Feng, don't hurt little brother!" When Yunxiao saw this, she immediately hugged Qin Feng's arm tightly. She still did not know the relationship between Qin Feng and Yunzei, and was afraid that Qin Feng would hurt her brother in anger. "Ah? Sister, what did you call him just now? Qin Feng? Did I hear that right?" Yunzei was stupefied. Qin Feng was his big brother. Could it be that he had missed his big brother so much that he was hearing things? Qin Feng, Yunzei is my younger brother, should I tell him your true identity? Don't worry, he won't betray you. Yunxiao was instantly put in a difficult position. If she didn't tell her brother about Qin Feng's identity, then she wouldn't be able to date Qiao Feng in the future. Haha, there's no need for introductions. I've known little brother Yunzei for a long time. He helped me quite a bit in Acropolis City before. Qin Feng laughed and spoke with his original voice. The way Yunzei looked at Qin Feng changed. He was now sure that the person in front of him was big brother Qin Feng. That voice was exactly the same. Also, only big brother Qin Feng would know about Acropolis City. Big brother Qin Feng, is it really you? How did you change? Yunzei grabbed Qin Feng's arm excitedly. Yunxiao was confused. What was going on? Little brother Yunzei, it's not convenient for me to appear in public with my previous identity, so I used Qiao Feng's identity for a while. You're really good. You were still a stage 4 inner qi in Acropolis City, but now you're at the peak of stage 5 inner qi. Qin Feng patted Yunzei's shoulder, completely treating Yunzei like a younger brother. Yunxiao couldn't take it anymore. She pulled Qin Feng and asked, "You guys knew each other before? What's going on?" Before Qin Feng could speak, Yunzei couldn't help but laugh. "Haha! Sister, this is really fate. Do you still remember how I kept advising you to be with my big brother? The big brother I'm talking about is big brother Qin Feng. Now it seems that big sister and big brother Qin Feng have known each other for a long time. The things that happened between us are too strange." Yunzei told them everything that had happened between him and Qin Feng. Yunxiao also told them about what had happened between him and Qin Feng when he was teaching in Acropolis City. This time, the three of them couldn't help but laugh. When Yunxiao found out that her brother's orange-grade spiritual weapon was a gift from Qin Feng and that Qin Feng had given her a precious blood qi pill, Yunxiao was even more grateful to Qin Feng. She took the initiative to hold Qin Feng's arm tightly and refused to let go. When Yunzei saw his sister and big brother Qin Feng's affectionate appearance, the large stone in his heart completely relaxed. He had always been worried about his sister's marriage. Now that he saw that his sister had found true happiness, Yunzei felt even happier and more excited than when he was elected as the young patriarch. Little brother Yunzei, this is a grade 4 chi strengthening pill. Your current realm is just right for you to consume this pill. If nothing unexpected happens, it will help you successfully break through to the 6th level. Qin Feng took out a chi strengthening pill and gave it to Yunzei. Yunzei was extremely excited when he received it. But very quickly, a hint of hesitation flashed across Yunzei's eyes. The blood chi pill that Qin Feng gave him last time was indeed useful, but it seemed to have some side effects. After Yunzei broke through, he had always wanted a woman. That feeling was really fucking intense. Yunzei had lived for 20 years, but this was the first time he wanted a woman so much. It was also at that time that Yunzei learned to fly for the first time in his life. Now that he was holding a grade 4 spirit pill, Yunzei's expression was solemn. He didn't know whether he should eat it or not. What's wrong, little brother Yunzei? Is one not enough? Then I'll give you 2 more. As Qin Feng spoke, he took out 2 more chi strengthening pills from the system. This was a grade 4 spirit pill, but in the end, it was as worthless as a bubble in Qin Feng's hands. Yunzei jumped in fright, and hurriedly waved his hand to reject. He had such a strong reaction after eating 1 pill. If he were to eat 3, Yunzei was afraid that he would not be able to control himself. Big brother Qin Feng, one of such a precious pill is enough. You should keep the rest. Seeing that Yunzei was unwilling, Qin Feng did not bother with pleasantries and directly put away the remaining 2 chi strengthening pills. Seeing that Qin Feng was so generous to his brother, Yun Xiao was extremely happy. She hugged Qin Feng's arm even tighter. Qin Feng could feel a soft pressure on him, causing him to feel a little restless. After the 3 of them clarified their relationship, they sat together and chatted. Qin Feng suddenly thought of the founder's mission and said to Yunzei, Little brother Yunzei, I've built a sect. Are you willing to join? Yunzei didn't even think and directly said, Of course I want to join Big Brother's sect. Just as Yunzei finished speaking, Qin Feng saw Yunzei's name on the Hero Alliance's dragon ranking. However, because Yunzei had yet to reach the inner 6th stage, his name was the same as Li Xingtian's Gray. Furthermore, after he and Li Xingtian joined the Hero Alliance, they did not trigger a dragon's roar. Alright, our sect is called the Hero Alliance. Other than you, there are a few other brothers. When I'm free, I'll let everyone gather and get to know each other. Those who can join Big Brother's Hero Alliance must be heroes. I'm looking forward to getting to know these brothers. Yunzei's face was filled with excitement. The 3 of them chatted for a while before Yunzei found an excuse to leave. He was afraid that he would disturb Qin Feng and his sister's date. After Yunzei left, Qin Feng started to linger with Yun Xiao again. Because Qin Feng had treated Yunzei as his own younger brother, and had even given him a chi-strengthening pill, Yun Xiao was extremely grateful to Qin Feng. This time, she took the initiative and wildly wrapped herself around Qin Feng's body, serving him in all sorts of ways. The 2 of them swung on the swing for a long time, and it felt like the swing was about to break. After the battle ended, Yun Xiao was so tired that she couldn't stand up. She directly laid in Qin Feng's embrace and refused to get up. The 2 of them played in the back garden until the sky darkened. Yunzei ran over and called the 2 of them for dinner. Today, a new patriarch had appeared in the Yun family. Tonight, all the relatives of the Yun family had rushed over. The huge family conference hall had been changed into a banquet hall. The table was filled with all sorts of delicacies and drinks. Wow! Young hero Qiao Feng is here. Young patriarch Yunzei is here too. After Qin Feng and the other 2 entered the room, all the relatives in the banquet hall immediately surrounded them. These people actually called Qin Feng first, then Yunzei. This also showed that Qiao Feng held a higher position in everyone's hearts, because Yunzei was able to become the young patriarch because Qiao Feng had helped him push him up. At this time, Yun Tiakong was mixed in the crowd. When he saw Yun Xiao take the initiative to hold Qin Feng's arm and walk into the room, a gratified smile appeared on his face. Under everyone's warm welcome, Qin Feng and Yunzhe began to take their seats. The two of them sat on the main seats, and Xiao Feng sat on the most important chair. Yunzhe and Yun Tiankong sat on Qin Feng's left and right. As an outsider, Qin Feng sat in such an important position. The Yun family's relatives did not feel that it was inappropriate. Instead, they felt that it was right to sit like this. The atmosphere at the dining table was very lively. The Yun family's relatives continuously raised their cups to toast Yunzhe and Qin Feng. These relatives were used to living in large families, so their flattery skills were better than the other. Their praises made Qin Feng feel a little embarrassed. When Yun Xiao saw that her brother and her man had obtained everyone's approval and had become the two most important representatives of the Yun family, she was even happier than if she had eaten honey. From time to time, she would put food into Qin Feng's bowl. Qin Feng's bowl had already piled up into a small mountain, but Yun Xiao was still unwilling to stop. Yun Xiao, come out with Mom for a while. Halfway through the meal, Yun Xiao's mother called Yun Xiao out. Yun Xiao's mother had long since discovered that this girl seemed to be together with Xiao Feng. Although Xiao Feng was strong and had monstrous power, Yun Xiao's mother still wanted to find her daughter alone to understand Xiao Feng better. Now that Yunzhe was the young patriarch of the Yun family, her daughter's marriage could not be so hasty. Everyone was smart. They knew that Yun Xiao and her mother went out to talk about Xiao Feng. Everyone pretended not to see and continued to toast Yunzhe, Yun Tiankong, and Xiao Feng. This family banquet ended very late. Before the Yun family's relatives left, they all bid farewell to Xiao Feng and Yunzhe. With Xiao Feng supporting Yunzhe, everyone in the Yun family had completely approved of Yunzhe's position as the young patriarch. No one dared to question him. Everyone left one after another, leaving only Yun Tiankong, Xiao Feng, and a few others in the hall. Yun Tiankong was so happy that he drank too much tonight. He laughed and came to Qin Feng's side. Young hero Xiao Feng, you and Yun Xiao are ironclad now. From now on, you and our Yun family are one family. Don't leave tonight, stay with Yun Xiao. Yun Tiankong said what Qin Feng was thinking. Qin Feng did not refuse. Ha ha! Then I will disturb Senior Yun tonight. Not at all. In the future, when you have time, come to the Yun family to play. This is also your home. Yun Tiankong chatted with Qin Feng for a while. Then, the old butler of the Yun family came to help him back to rest. At this time, Yun Xiao and Mother Yun walked in. Yun Zhao's pretty face was flushed. It seemed that the mother and daughter had talked about a lot of awkward topics. Auntie, Uncle, Junior Xiao Feng greets the two of you. Qin Feng took the initiative to walk forward and greet Yun Zhao's parents. Father Yun was startled and hurriedly returned the greeting. Young hero Xiao Feng, please stand up. After witnessing Qin Feng's strength and influence, Father Yun was afraid of Qin Feng. How could he accept Qin Feng's courtesy? A trace of gratification flashed through Mother Yun's eyes. She had asked her daughter many questions, and she knew that her daughter had truly fallen in love with Xiao Feng. Seeing Xiao Feng's humble and courteous behavior, Mother Yun let out a sigh of relief. Qin Feng and Yun Zhao's families sat and chatted. The longer Father Yun and Mother Yun interacted with Qin Feng, the more they liked Qin Feng. At this time, the two elders were very gratified. Their daughter was able to find such a good son-in-law like Xiao Feng. They chatted until late at night. When everyone went back to sleep, Qin Feng went directly to Yun Zhao's room. Yun Xiao floated in the sky for the whole night. The feeling that Qin Feng gave her was too wonderful for words. Chapter 705. Thanks to a little fan and hedonist supremacy for their tips, the two of us have blown up our monthly votes. Flight 888 from Kyoto International Airport to Hong Kong has officially taken off. All passengers, please turn off your cell phones and remain seated. We wish you all a pleasant journey. The sweet voice of a flight attendant came from the broadcast, making Qin Feng's body go limp. This flight was from Kyoto to Hong Kong. The flight attendants were all Hong Kong women, and their voices were sweet and sweet. Ouch! Team Leader Yen, why are you pinching my waist? Qin Feng suddenly yelled in pain. Yan Wushuang's face was as cold as ice. She didn't even look at Qin Feng and said coldly, "Do you have any taste? How could you be a love-struck fool with such a disgusting voice? It's so embarrassing to be partnered with you. Team Leader Yen, you and I are not allowed to touch or kiss you. I'm enjoying the sweet voice of a Hong Kong woman, and you want to stop me? Aren't you being too overbearing?" Qin Feng complained to Yan Wushuang and purposely dug his eyes into her plump chest. Yan Wushuang blushed a little, but soon her face turned cold again. She pulled her neckline without a trace and said angrily, "Are you sick? I'm going to Hong Kong with your partner to do a mission, not to accompany you to eat, drink, travel, and sleep. What are you thinking?" Qin Feng curled his lips and said, "Then I'll give you more money. How about you accompany me?" Ouch! Qin Feng felt a sharp pain in his foot as soon as he finished speaking. It was rare for Yan Wushuang to dress up sexily. She was wearing a blue, elegant, tight-fitting dress and a pair of high heels. Ordinary people couldn't bear the pain of the heels stepping on Qin Feng's foot. Qin Feng and Yan Wushuang were a pair of quarrelsome lovers. If they didn't fight, they wouldn't be them. "Beauty, that guy is annoying, right? Don't worry, I'll teach him a lesson for you." The man on the other side of the aisle suddenly stood up. He was fat and had a wretched expression. When he spoke, he squinted and glanced at Yan Wushuang's sexy body. After looking for a while, the fatty's gaze fell on Qin Feng. His originally smiling face suddenly darkened, and he fiercely yelled at Qin Feng, "Stinking brat, get the hell out here right now! Let's switch seats, you can sit on my seat." Qin Feng and Yan Wushuang had 2 rows of seats. Qin Feng sat on the inside, while Yan Wushuang sat on the outside. "Why should I exchange with you? Is there something wrong with you?" Qin Feng could tell what Fatty was thinking at first glance. This guy was obviously interested in Yan Wushuang, and he was here to cause trouble. "Wow! You're crazy, aren't you? Do you know who I am? I am Hong Kong's famous Brother Hai. Do you want to die if you don't curry favor with Brother Hai?" The muscles on Big Brother Hai's face trembled as he glared at Qin Feng. Qin Feng was too lazy to deal with this person. He impatiently shouted, "Hurry up and scram! Don't ruin my mood! Motherfucker, you want me to scram? You're courting death!" Suddenly, Big Brother Hai swung his fist at Qin Feng, but his movement was a little strange. He looked like he was going to beat Qin Feng up, but his other hand secretly moved toward Yan Wushuang's full chest. Ordinary people wouldn't notice this little action, but in front of Qin Feng and Yan Wushuang, Big Brother Hai's action was as childish as a kindergarten kid. Crack! Before Big Brother Hai's hand could touch the softness, Yan Wushuang suddenly took out a magazine and pressed it against his belly. Big Brother Hai's body suddenly couldn't move forward. His pig's trotter was only a few centimeters away from Yan Wushuang's full chest, but he still couldn't touch it. Yan Wushuang rolled the magazine in her hand into a ball and forcefully poked Big Brother Hai. Big Brother Hai was in so much pain that cold sweat broke out on his forehead. He hurriedly tried to get up. "Damn fatty, where are you going? Didn't you want to beat me up? Then don't go!" Before Big Brother Hai could get up, Qin Feng grabbed Big Brother Hai's fist. Qin Feng slightly tightened his grip, and a crisp sound came from Big Brother Hai's fist. It sounded like the sound of bones breaking. Big Brother Hai was in so much pain that his whole face turned red. You fucking let go of me!" Big Brother Hai resisted the pain and didn't shout. He was afraid of embarrassing himself. Qin Feng increased the strength of his hand. This time, Brother Hai's hand was squeezed out of shape. Brother Hai used all his strength to struggle free from Qin Feng's grip, but Qin Feng's grip was like a vice. He couldn't break free at all. Big Brother Hai was really suffering this time. He was as fat as a small mountain and weighed more than 100 kilograms. At this time, his whole body weight was supported by the magazine on his belly. Big Brother Hai felt like a big hole was poked in his belly. His hand was squeezed by Qin Feng to the point that it almost melted. Bro, don't misunderstand. I didn't want to hit you. I just wanted to help you draw the curtain. My big brother Hai has a very high status in Hong Kong. Little bro, if you need anything in Hong Kong, you can look for me. You let go of me first. Big brother Hai couldn't take it anymore. The fat on his face was trembling in pain. His arrogant attitude was gone in an instant, and he started to flatter Qin Feng. Oh, so you want to draw the curtain? Why didn't you say so earlier? I thought you were itching for a beating. Qin Feng looked at Big Brother Hai with a smile. Big Brother Hai was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. Who the fuck would go looking for a beating for no reason? Get lost! Qin Feng couldn't be bothered to deal with Big Brother Hai. He gave him a light push, and Big Brother Hai fell backward. His butt fell on his seat, scaring the auntie sitting next to him. Get up, I want to sit inside. Yan Wu Shuang suddenly stood up and stared at Qin Feng coldly. Yan Wu Shuang sat outside for a while. She noticed that more than a dozen men kept staring at her. Yan Wu Shuang had always been a quiet woman. She couldn't stand these men's peeping. Come over here. I'm too lazy to get up. Qin Feng stared at the bottom of Yan Wu Shuang's skirt with a lecherous look. Yan Wu Shuang's mouth twitched. She had no choice but to move her body inside. Get out of here! Yan Wu Shuang was already standing in front of Qin Feng. She ordered Qin Feng to move to the seat outside. Qin Feng suddenly stood up and hugged Yan Wu Shuang. His body even shook a few times. Xiao Feng, what are you doing? Yan Wu Shuang was frightened by Qin Feng's sudden action. She wanted to slap Qin Feng out of the plane. Qin Feng put on an innocent face and quickly explained. Team Leader Yan, it's not my fault. The plane encountered some turbulence just now and suddenly swayed. I didn't do anything, Qin Feng said with a serious face as if he was telling the truth. Yan Wu Shuang's beautiful face was so gloomy that it looked like it was about to drip water. The plane was flying very smoothly just now, and the passengers in the other seats did not have any abnormalities. Only Qin Feng would lie with his eyes wide open. You! Get out of here! Seeing that Yan Wu Shuang was truly enraged, Qin Feng chuckled and moved his body. Suddenly, Yan Wu Shuang's beautiful eyes lit up. Before Qin Feng could move away, she suddenly sat down on Qin Feng's body. Ouch! Team Leader Yan, are you playing Mount Tai? I am broken because of you! Qin Feng suddenly screamed in pain. Yan Wu Shuang could even hear the sound of bones breaking. Yan Wu Shuang was very pleased. She purposely took revenge on Qin Feng. Wasn't Qin Feng always playing dirty? Yan Wu Shuang decided to give him a taste of his own medicine. Xiao Feng, are you okay? The plane was shaking so much just now that I lost my balance and sat down. Did you really break your legs? Yan Wu Shuang stood up and looked at Qin Feng with a smile. When Qin Feng took the initiative to hug Yan Wu Shuang, he had some reaction. Yan Wu Shuang's sudden sitting hurt him. Qin Feng arched his body and moved to the seat outside. His face was full of pain, and he did not talk to Yan Wu Shuang anymore. Hey! Are you for real? Are you so weak? You broke after sitting down for a while? You used to be known as the #1 hedonistic young master in Acropolis City. Are you acting? Yan Wu Shuang was a little nervous when she saw Qin Feng's forehead was drenched in cold sweat. Could it be that I've really broken him? Qin Feng was really injured. However, this injury was not as severe as Qin Feng's performance. He just needed to rest for a while. Qin Feng suddenly remembered the mission Little Pig gave him last time. He wanted to woo his superior Yan Wu Shuang. This was a good opportunity for Qin Feng to take advantage of. How can it be the same? Those girls are as gentle as water, and their movements are gentle and slow. What you did just now was like a mountain pressing down on me. It would be strange if I didn't stop. Qin Feng continued to pretend to be in pain. You're disgusting. Don't tell me about your past. You play with all kinds of women. Don't you have any shame? When Yan Wu Shuang heard about Qin Feng's past glory, she was inexplicably angry. Also, I'm so thin. I only weigh 50 kilograms. How can I be a mountain? Why don't you act more exaggerated? Yan Wushuang shouted at Qin Feng angrily. Then, she turned around and ignored Qin Feng. Qin Feng held his stomach and bent over. He didn't talk to Yan Wushuang. After a while, Yan Wushuang couldn't stand it anymore. She had been secretly peeking at Qin Feng. Qin Feng used to tease her when they were together. Now, he really stopped talking. Could it be that he really broke? Hey! Are you okay? Why don't you ask the flight attendant to take you for a checkup? Yan Wushuang poked Qin Feng's arm. Qin Feng said angrily. Check up my ass. I'm definitely broken. Will you only be happy when the doctor and flight attendant on the plane know that I'm broken? You're such a vicious woman. Qin Feng was the best at pretending to be sick. It was a perfect performance. Yan Wushuang started to feel nervous. She just wanted to punish Qin Feng a little. She didn't expect that she would break him. Wasn't this the same as cutting off the Qin family's bloodline? Then what should I do? Yan Wushuang didn't know what to do. She even panicked a little. What else can I do? I won't touch women anymore. Are you satisfied now? Qin Feng stared at Yan Wushuang angrily. Yan Wushuang didn't look as cold as before. She looked at Qin Feng sympathetically and said, Don't say that. Nowadays, medical technology is so advanced. Even if it's broken, it can still be reconnected. Chapter 706. Do you think it's a broken finger? You can fix it whenever you want. Plus, I was injured by your kick at the Dragon's Gate celebration banquet last time. Now that I have new injuries, I won't be able to recover. Qin Feng complained. Ah? Then, what should I do? Yan Wushuang was already fooled by Qin Feng's acting. She didn't know what to do. Forget it. Since it's already happened, I'll be single for the rest of my life. Sigh. Who asked Leader Yan to break my finger? If it was someone else, I would definitely kill him. Qin Feng's face was filled with despair. Yan Wushuang's beautiful eyes flashed with a complicated light. She was silent for a moment, and no one knew what she was thinking. At this time, the plane had already taken off and began to fly steadily. A tall and sexy air stewardess pushed a cart and began to distribute drinks. The cart was pushed to Qin Feng's side. Sir, what would you like to drink? Iced orange juice. Big Brother Hai's voice sounded. The air stewardess frowned. Drinking iced orange juice in the middle of winter? She didn't know what that fatty was thinking. But soon, the air stewardess poured a glass of iced orange juice for Big Brother Hai with a professional smile on her face. Big Brother Hai took the orange juice. He could feel the coldness even through the paper cup. An evil smile flashed across his squinted eyes. His fat hand suddenly trembled, and the glass of iced orange juice spilled towards Qin Feng. Whoosh! Qin Feng casually raised his hand. A gust of wind blew and the orange juice that was spilled towards Qin Feng flew back and landed on Big Brother Hai's head. Ah! It's freezing, Acho! Big Brother Hai had suffered at Qin Feng's hands before. He knew that Qin Feng was very strong, so he didn't dare to openly provoke Qin Feng. Big Brother Hai prepared to sneak an attack on Qin Feng by splashing iced orange juice all over Qin Feng's body. In the end, the orange juice ended up splashing on his own head. Big Brother Hai was dumbfounded. Ah? Sir, are you okay? Why did you pour orange juice on your head? Let me help you wipe it. The beautiful air stewardess was stunned. After regaining her senses, she quickly found a towel to help Brother Hai dry his hair. Big Brother Hai just wanted to trick Qin Feng, but he didn't expect the orange juice to be poured on his head. He was so angry that his nostrils flared. He slapped the air stewardess's extended hand away and yelled, No need to wipe, pour me another glass of iced orange juice, hurry! Brother Hai's fiendish appearance scared the air stewardess. The flight attendant didn't dare to go against Brother Hai's words, so she quickly poured him another glass of orange juice. Big Brother Hai picked up the orange juice and splashed it at Qin Feng. Qin Feng laughed in his heart. He waved his hand and the orange juice was blown away by the wind, splashing all over Big Brother High's chest. Ow! Cold, it's too damn cold. Why did you bring such cold orange juice on the plane in the middle of winter? Achio, I've caught a cold. Big Brother High's antics had already attracted the attention of many passengers. Everyone stood in their seats and stuck their heads out to see Big Brother High's antics. Qin Feng's movements were very secretive. Other than Yan Wushuang, no one else noticed. Everyone only saw Big Brother High order 2 glasses of iced orange juice and pour it on himself. Then, he yelled that the orange juice was too cold. Did this person eat too many fucking retarded pills? Sir, are you okay? What are you doing? The beautiful air stewardess was confused by Big Brother High. She even instinctively took 2 steps back. The beautiful air stewardess felt that Big Brother High was a retard and hoped that he wouldn't suddenly go crazy. Big Brother High already realized that he was being talked about like an idiot. He was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. Big Brother High also felt that the first 2 times were a bit strange. It seemed that every time he made a move, a cold wind would blow over and directly blow the orange juice onto his body. Fucking hell, I don't believe this. In a fit of anger, Big Brother High directly picked up the bucket of iced orange juice from the dining car. The orange juice bucket emitted cold air. Just holding it in his hands, Big Brother High couldn't help but shiver. Splash! The bucket of iced orange juice was completely poured over Big Brother High's head. Big Brother High was so cold that his whole body trembled. Tears and water flowed out. This was too fucking weird. How could he bully people like this? Whoosh! All the passengers on the plane were stunned. They were now completely sure that this person didn't eat too many retarded pills. He must have eaten too much shit. Otherwise, why would someone hold iced orange juice and pour it on himself in the middle of winter? Did he think this was an orange juice bath? A bucket of iced orange juice was really too fucking much. Big Brother High wanted to stand up the bucket, but his hands were so cold that he couldn't feel them. He let the entire bucket of ice water pour over his body. The discussions around him became louder and louder. All of them were scolding Big Brother High for being an idiot. When Big Brother High heard these words, he was so angry that his face turned green. Big Brother High felt that he should say something. Otherwise, he would really be treated as an idiot. He faced the sky and laughed 3 times. Ha! This plane is really hot. Now that I have a bucket of ice water to wash my body, I feel so much better. After saying that, Big Brother High immediately returned to his seat. The auntie sitting next to him was so scared that she shrank her body against the window. She even placed her bag between the 2 of them. She looked at Big Brother High as if she was looking at a monster. Sir, do you want to use a towel to wipe yourself? The stewardess didn't know what to say. She had been a stewardess for 3 years, but this was the first time she saw such an idiot like Big Brother High. Big Brother High shouted that last sentence to prove that he wasn't an idiot. How could he use a towel to wipe himself now? Hurry up and get out of the way. I want to cool down. I'm having a good time right now. I'll fucking fight whoever dares to wipe my body. The stewardess rolled her eyes and ignored Big Brother High. There was something wrong with this person's brain. Talking to him was a waste of air. Sir, beautiful lady, what would you like to drink? The stewardess turned around and looked at Qin Feng and Yan Wushuang. 2 cups of hot coffee. Only an idiot would drink iced orange juice on such a cold day, Qin Feng said with a chuckle. The beautiful stewardess nodded repeatedly and agreed with Qin Feng's words. She poured 2 cups of hot coffee for Qin Feng and pushed the trolley to serve the passengers at the back. Because Big Brother High poured a bucket of iced orange juice on the ground, the temperature in the plane was very cold. Almost all the passengers at the back wanted hot coffee. Every table was steaming hot. After Qin Feng ordered a cup of coffee, he turned his body to face Big Brother High. Every time he drank a mouthful of coffee, he would moan in comfort. Big Brother High was still shivering from the cold. When he saw Qin Feng's warm cup of coffee, Big Brother High wanted to snatch it and drink it. The journey passed by quickly. The plane had already stopped at Hong Kong International Airport. The passengers on the plane began to disembark in an orderly manner. Big Brother Hai was frozen the whole way. At this time, his entire skin was purple. He didn't even have the ability to stand up. He simply sat there like an ice sculpture. Qin Feng, are you feeling better? Qin Feng and Yan Wuxuan had already gotten off the plane. During the second half of the journey, Yan Wuxuan didn't speak to Qin Feng. However, she had been worried about Qin Feng. Now that they had just gotten off the plane, Yan Wuxuan couldn't help but ask. Ah? Of course not. I told you, I won't be able to recover. Qin Feng had almost forgotten about this matter. Now, he immediately pretended to be in pain. Even the way he walked was a little weird. Yan Wuxuan's willowy eyebrows were tightly knitted. Her heart was filled with guilt. Now that she recalled the incident on the plane, she really sat too hard. Yan Wuxuan sat with her inner qi. If it was an ordinary person, their intestines would have been squeezed out. Forget it. The plane was shaking badly. Group leader Yan didn't do it on purpose. Why would I blame you? Qin Feng pretended to be disappointed and said. Yan Wuxuan felt even worse. At that time, the plane wasn't shaking badly. Yan Wuxuan purposely wanted to teach Qin Feng a lesson. In the end, she accidentally lost her buttocks and broke Qin Feng. Why don't we go to the hospital for a checkup first? We have to get that thing done as soon as possible. Yan Wuxuan suddenly grabbed Qin Feng's arm. Her pretty face was flushed. Qin Feng felt great when he saw Yan Wuxuan's nervous expression. Then, he continued to say disappointedly. Forget it. We're here for a mission. We have to hurry. But, Yan Wuxuan still wanted to say something, but Qin Feng directly pulled her into the airport transport bus. No buts. It's already broken. Worst comes to worst, I don't want to be a woman anymore. After getting on the bus, Yan Wuxuan became silent again. She lowered her head and looked guilty. No one knew what she was thinking. The airport transport sent them to the luggage hall. Qin Feng and Yan Wuxuan were here for a mission, so they didn't bring any luggage. They directly left the airport, hailed a taxi, and went to the big billionaire casino. Sitting in the taxi, Qin Feng looked at the beautiful scenery of Hong Kong. Hong Kong was a fashionable city. The streets were crowded with cars and high-rise buildings. Gambling centers and international famous clothing stores could be seen almost every 1 kilometer. This was the characteristic of Hong Kong. It was a shopping and gambling city. Although it was winter, the beauties on the streets were all wearing short skirts and black cotton socks. They were all sexy and fashionable. Recently, Qin Feng had been in contact with the martial arts world outside of China and the Dragon sect. He was about to leave the normal city life. Looking at the various beauties on the streets, Qin Feng's heart was filled with emotion. This was his original life. This was the indulgent life that a hedonistic young master should have. While admiring the scenery, the taxi soon stopped at the entrance of the big billionaire casino. This casino was one of the 6 biggest casinos in Hong Kong. It occupied tens of thousands of square meters of land in the central area of Hong Kong, where every inch of land was worth its weight in gold. It had built a huge 5-story casino. Its domineering appearance and fashionable construction style attracted everyone's attention. Team Leader Yan, what mission are we doing in Hong Kong? Don't tell me you tricked me to come here to gamble? Until now, Qin Feng still didn't know what to do in Hong Kong. These days, Qin Feng had been helping Yun Zhe stabilize his position. Every day, he stayed at the Yun family's house and met Yun Xiao on the swing in the back garden. In just 3 days, the swing's iron chains and seat board had been changed 8 times, which shocked the maintenance staff. Today, Qin Feng was playing the swing with Yun Xiao as usual. He was having a good time when Yan Wuxuan called Qin Feng and asked him to leave. Then, they took a plane for a few hours and stood on the land of Hong Kong. Chapter 707. Qin Feng and Yan Wushuang had just arrived at the front desk of the Regal Hotel when the customer service lady asked enthusiastically, "What kind of room would you like? 2 single rooms? A double room?" Yan Wushuang and Qin Feng said at the same time. The customer service lady frowned slightly, but her expression returned to normal quickly. She smiled warmly and said, "What kind of room should we get?" Qin Feng looked at Yan Wushuang and said, "Team Leader Yan, let's get a double room. You don't have to worry about it since it's broken." Yan Wushuang suddenly fell silent. Originally, she wanted to book 2 single rooms. Her relationship with Qin Feng wasn't close enough to the point of sharing a room. However, since Qin Feng had said so, Yan Wushuang couldn't refuse. Qin Feng booked a double room, took the room card, and led Yan Wushuang upstairs to the room. The room was clean and tidy, and there were all kinds of home appliances. "Team Leader Yan, let's talk about the mission." As soon as they entered the room, Qin Feng kicked off his shoes, jumped onto the big bed and lay down. Yan Wushuang was somewhat embarrassed. It was her first time sharing a room with a man. Although Qin Feng also stayed in Yan Wushuang's villa when she and Qin Feng completed the mission of the William family, they slept in separate rooms and were not as intimate as they were now. Yan Wushuang bent down and began to take off her high heels. Qin Feng glanced at her and saw the white skin under her collar. "Qin Feng, what are you looking at?" After taking off her shoes, Yan Wushuang put her high heels and Qin Feng's shoes on the shoe rack. She raised her head and saw Qin Feng's burning gaze. "Ahem. No, nothing. I was waiting for you to tell me about the mission." Qin Feng quickly withdrew his gaze and pretended to be calm. Yan Wushuang did not think much and leaned on the big bed. Suddenly, a fragrant scent wafted over. Qin Feng almost could not help but pounce on Yan Wushuang and hug her. "This mission was assigned by the higher-ups. They asked us to investigate a money laundering case in Hong Kong." Yan Wushuang became serious and explained the details of the mission. "According to the information given to me by the higher-ups, there is a huge gang in Hong Kong. In recent years, they have been conducting secret money laundering operations here. Previously, the Dragon Gate had sent over a dozen members to investigate this case, but they all disappeared and have not been heard from until now." When Qin Feng heard this, he became serious. "Disappeared? Don't tell me they've all died?" The light in Yan Wushuang's beautiful eyes dimmed. She said, "The Dragon Gate didn't issue a death notice. However, the members of the Dragon Gate are all experts. We haven't heard from them for a long time. I'm 90% sure that they are dead." "What groups were the members of the Dragon sect that were sent here?" Qin Feng continued to ask. "The Heaven, Earth, Mystic, and Yellow groups have sent people here, but we lost contact with all the members who came for this mission," Yan Wushuang said honestly. "Holy shit! I heard that the completion rate of the Heaven team and Earth team is very high. Even the people sent by their teams can't complete this mission. Why did the Dragon sect send the 2 of us? Was he really treating Grandpa as a rubbish bin? Why are you throwing all the difficult missions at me?" Qin Feng was instantly enraged and complained. Yan Wushuang also had a helpless look on her face. She also felt that this task was very difficult. Otherwise, the people who had come before would have solved the case. Moreover, Yan Wushuang did not tell Qin Feng a very important piece of information. Among the 13 missing members of the Dragon sect, the last one sent was Blue Dragon Ge, one of the 9 dragons of Huaxia. They lost contact with Ge after a week, and there was still no news about him. Yan Wushuang did not dare to tell Qin Feng this piece of information because Qin Feng had been complaining about the missing members of the Heaven team and Earth team. Yan Wushuang was afraid that if she told Qin Feng that even Blue Dragon Ge was missing, Qin Feng would turn back to his country and quit. Qin Feng would really do something like that. "I didn't complain, and you still have the nerve to complain?" Yan Wushuang rolled her eyes at Qin Feng and continued. "This mission wasn't originally assigned to us, but Song Changxing strongly recommended us to form a team. He said that we had completed the William family's mission perfectly last time, so we would definitely be able to complete this mission." Qin Feng immediately stopped complaining. He knew that Song Changxing was taking revenge on him, and he had implicated Yan Wushuang. Lu Yinhuan and Lei Ming were there, right? Didn't they say anything? Yan Wushuang shook her head and said, They were there, but they didn't say anything. Qin Feng was furious. These old bastards were all cunning and sinister. Song Changxing was clearly taking revenge on Qin Feng, but Lu Yinhuan and Lei Ming pretended that they didn't know anything. They didn't want to offend anyone, and they were just waiting to reap the benefits. These old bastards! When I finish this mission, I'll slap their faces until they're swollen. Qin Feng began to complain again. Yan Wushuang was amused. Among the members of the dragon sect, only Qin Feng dared to call Song Changxing and the others old bastards. Team leader Yan, please continue with the mission. Qin Feng quickly calmed down. This mission was obviously very difficult, and Qin Feng began to pay attention to it. There aren't many clues for this mission. We only know that there's a secret organization that launders money in Hong Kong, and this organization has been in existence for a few years. Our mission is to find out the organization behind this money laundering, and then find the evidence to convict them. We also need to find the money and hand it over to the Chinese government. Yan Wushuang explained the details of the mission, and Qin Feng was immediately troubled. It was as if she didn't say anything. Hong Kong was so big, where could he find an organization that launders money? That's right, we still have an important clue. According to the information sent back by the missing members of the Dragon Sect, we can conclude that the Wei family is part of this money laundering organization. Yan Wushuang suddenly added, Wei family? Could it be the Wei family in the provincial capital? Yes, the Wei family where you killed Wei Xiaolei. Yan Wushuang looked at Qin Feng with a smile. Qin Feng suddenly felt uneasy. This woman had gotten hold of many of his secrets. Qin Feng wondered what he would do if Yan Wushuang used these secrets to threaten him to sacrifice himself. Should he rather die than submit? Or should he compromise? Ahem. Team leader Yan, let's not talk about the past. I even killed Prince William that time. You should thank me. Otherwise, you might have been taken by that bastard Prince William. Yan Wushuang was quite grateful to Qin Feng. Back then, in order to investigate the secrets of the William family, she was asked by the Dragon Sect to marry into the William family. In the end, Prince William was killed by Qin Feng before they could marry. That's all the information for the mission. Let's discuss and see where we can start. Yan Wushuang didn't mention Prince William and Wei Xiaolei again. The corner of Qin Feng's mouth curved into a cold smile. He already had a plan, and he would start with the Wei family. Back then, Wei Xiaolei pestered Yun Xiao and invited Qin Feng to race at Coiled Snake Mountain in order to frame Qin Feng. After Qin Feng killed Wei Xiaolei, the Wei family secretly took revenge on Qin Feng. Later, because Qin Feng changed his identity, the Wei family stopped. Qin Feng was just about to find time to wipe out the Wei family, and now the opportunity presented itself to him. Qin Feng and Yan Wushuang discussed for a while, and the two of them hit it off. They both suggested to start with the Wei family, then slowly gather information and tried to catch the larger organization behind the Wei family in one fell swoop. According to Qin Feng and Yan Wushuang's deductions, the Wei family's power in the capital wasn't too great. The organization that laundered the money was clearly much more powerful than the Wei family. It seemed that the Wei family wasn't the real mastermind. There must be an even more powerful organization standing behind them. Team leader Yan, do you want to go down and take a look? After talking about the mission, Qin Feng planned to go downstairs and take a look at Dafu Casino. This was because Qin Feng heard from Yan Wushuang that Dafu Casino and this Dafu Hotel were both Wei family properties in Hong Kong. This was also why Yan Wushuang directly took a taxi to check-in after she got off the plane. Yan Wushuang was wearing a dark blue one-piece dress. At this time, she was lying lazily on the big bed. She had been on a plane for a few hours, so she was a bit tired. Her casual and lazy look was mesmerizing. Qin Feng's gaze fell on Yan Wushuang's thighs, and he couldn't take his eyes off her. Yan Wushuang was stretching, and the bottom of her dress slid up, revealing a pair of long, white legs. She was about to slide to the most important part. What are you looking at? Aren't you broken? Why are you still thinking about this? You're not lying, are you? Yan Wuxuang suddenly noticed Qin Feng's malicious gaze. She was so scared that she jumped up from the bed and hurriedly pulled down her dress. That. Team Leader Yan, please don't misunderstand. I wasn't peeking just now. I was thinking of a plan, and I was lost in thought. Qin Feng hurriedly began to quibble. If it's broken, then it's broken. How can you joke about this kind of thing? Have you ever seen a man make fun of himself and say that he's broken? Yan Wuxuang blushed when she heard Qin Feng's words. A man and a woman alone in a room, and Qin Feng couldn't stop his broken. It was too ambiguous. However, Yan Wuxuang thought that Qin Feng's words made sense. All men cared about that part of their body. They were eager to be praised by others, so why would they say that they were broken? Then you can go shopping by yourself. I'm a bit tired, so I'm going to rest for a while. Yan Wuxuang pouted and rolled her eyes at Qin Feng. Then she pulled the quilt over her stomach and went to sleep. Yan Wuxuang's dress was pushed up again. Qin Feng glanced at her long legs, and suddenly, he didn't want to go downstairs anymore. He wanted to hug Yan Wuxuang from behind and sleep with her. But when he thought of the serious consequences, he put on his shoes and went out. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.